Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat, we guarantee you're in wonderful company, unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. With Mr. and Mrs. E.
Launch sequence activated. Prepare for light speed.
Keeping the missing relevant with Mr. E, Mrs. E. Let's not forget the sweet and E, and of course the best Grand E, unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat, we guarantee you're in wonderful company, unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E.
Auntie, is that you? Yes. Bring in the crime dogs. It's time.
Unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat, we guarantee you're in wonderful company, unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Mrs. E. Mrs. E.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mystery Crimecast. I am Mr. E. I'm joined tonight by Mrs. E and our guest, Auntie. Welcome in. Good to see everybody. Lots of our friends coming in, and I saw someone back here. I wanted to highlight Mimima, in my opinion. Not kidding. This is my first live I have actually caught. I'm so excited. First ever. So I'm glad you're able to catch us live on the live. So congratulations there. And it's good to see you in. We actually give a few hours notice. So maybe that helps people
Right.
catch our lives
You think?
on time instead of doing it like with 5 minutes to go. Well, I just want to say hello to everybody. A lot of folks giving us the green hearts and the orange hearts, which we of course appreciate. A couple of our kids are off at summer camp right now, so this is a good week for us to do lives.
Right.
So we'll be doing a few actually this week. We'll be doing tonight with Sebastian. Tomorrow night we're doing. Are we announcing this yet? That we're doing.
Yeah, I already put it out.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to do a members only tomorrow night. We're going to do a trivia night. Is our plan for our members? And
No,
then,
it's not trivia night. It's just dog pound. So the members will be able to come up
we're going to do that.
and talk.
Gotcha. Okay, I knew we kind of talked back and forth which way to do that.
So we'll put a link out, and then the members will be able to come up and come on stage and talk to you.
That'll be awesome. So that'll be the first time we have done it that way. So I know. So that'll be fun. So we'll be able to have a little chat with our members. I'm sure you guys have your own thoughts and theories about a lot of these cases we've covered over the last year or so, and we'll all have a chance to do that. But do you have anything you want to do before we kind of get into it here?
Say hello to people.
We did get a sticker, I think.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got one from Lisa B. Always. She has a new puppy, Teddington. Looks very much like my Charlie. So cute. Thank you,
Let me
Lisa.
Let me see. Oh my
Thank
goodness!
you so much. Let me pull that up.
Is that a Labradoodle?
Lisa B. Always. Thank you so much. And good to
It'd
see
be
you.
a cockapoo.
Teddington.
Have a
That's
new
so cute.
Teddington.
Yeah,
That
that's
looks like a
cute.
Teddington. That does look like a
Cute.
little teddy bear kind of fur, right? So very cute dog there.
And we're celebrating a year membership with the Real Me Too, one of our awesome mods.
Oh, well, well, that's great. Thank you so much, Real Me Too. We appreciate the support there. All right, so I'm just pulling a couple of things up here to get ready.
Sorry, I've
I've got a lot of tabs open again tonight. There's a lot we want to get into tonight. So we've been a little while since we've done a live stream, really just about Sebastian. We've always kind of, for me, doing live streams, I don't like to come out here unless we've got something to talk about.
right.
So we have a lot of things that we do want to go over. A lot of it is going to be, Al Henry says, Mrs. Z and Auntie E look like sisters.
We are
Good
sisters.
observation. You are correct. People guessed for a while that it was Auntie and I that were the siblings when we first started doing this. That was the leading theory with people. But no, it is the ladies. They're the ones that are related.
Yes.
Or I guess we're all related, but blood related.
True.
And the Real Me Too has been a member for 12 months.
I already said
It's
that.
been a year. Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
You did. You were doing something else. But we also have another one. Wow has been a member for 12 months.
Oh, wow.
I guess we were doing something 12 months ago to make people want to become members. That was
yeah.
a key.
We were
month
just
for us.
getting started, I think, about a year ago.
And if you do want to become a member, you can do so. I think it's pinned to the top up there. If you want to support the channel, we would appreciate it. What else? And liking and sharing also helps us as well. So helps us with the algorithm. So if you haven't hit that like button, please do so.
I saw Hindsight 2002 is here. So good to see you.
Oh, and Crime
Hindsight.
Time Buzz is here.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Good to see you,
Crime
Crime Time. Good to see you in. She does a great job also. But both of those are great channels to follow, just in general, but especially for Sebastian Rogers. I'm sure most of our audience is familiar with them. But if you're not, you should be subbed up to both of those channels.
You sure did.
Oh, is that how it was? Because we probably didn't have memberships available because we couldn't.
We couldn't.
We weren't monetized. at
That's
first,
right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, all the friends are here tonight. Well,
Yes.
welcome
I kinda forget
everybody.
about that. Yes, man, this is a great grouping already.
You know what? Real quick, I want to ask everybody because I asked Aunt E this earlier. We are debating covering the Crystal Rogers. I can't speak. Crystal Rogers trial, and kind of like the way we did Megan Boswell. And wondering if you guys would be interested. If you are interested in that, please put a 1 in chat. If you don't know anything about Crystal Rogers, put a 2.
It's interesting. It's an interesting case.
Real Me Too says it started today.
I thought it was just jury selection today. If it started today, then we're in trouble.
What I read, somebody said jury selection, so I don't know. So it's kind of looking a little bit.
Real Me Too said she was planning on going.
Wow. I think I might remember you saying that a few months ago, that this is one she was very interested in. Yeah. And this is why. So Tennessee Nurse says, yes, it's a probable cause, no body case.
Yes.
Which are hard to try for sure. They've been working on this for years and years.
Why don't you give us a little rundown of it real quick?
I don't have the date off the top of my head, but
Nicey Marie says 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was going to say it was about 10 years ago. I lived in the area, not even 30 minutes from there. And she was a mother. I think she had 2 or 3 kids, and she went missing. I mean, literally went missing overnight. She was reported missing. They've never found her body. It was just a very big mystery. There was a police officer that was also killed. He was shot from an overhead bridge onto the parkway, and so that was very mysterious. Her father was also killed during searching. It was a weird case. It took a lot of twists and turns, but they have finally had some indictments and are going to start the trial. So it's a very interesting case, but she has never been found.
Yeah, and Real Me Too said she was supposed to go with Betty, but she's going to support a family in another case. So, and then Crime Time Buzz says jury selection did begin at 9 a.m. today. So,
yeah. So
and I saw Mama Marissa in here and BMW Coupe, CC, Get Lockered, all kinds of all the friends.
I know.
Rosebud's here. Of course, our wonderful mods, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches, and Real Me Too. And I'm sure there's other mods in here. Nightbot. Thank you, Nightbot. Let's see.
Nightbot always doing the heavy lifting.
I mean, some people don't like Nightbot, but I like it for our mods to not have to worry about doing all that stuff. I want them to be able to enjoy themselves as well. So I did that so that they wouldn't have to do all that.
So I want to start with good news. Can we start with good news tonight? How about that? Maybe that's how we should always start the streams. I think start with the positive, like we did.
Hold on. Get Lockered says, how do you get to be such a great channel? I was told mine would never amount to anything. I would like to prove that person wrong.
Oh.
I don't know what you mean by a great channel, because I see our flaws constantly.
We're still pretty small potatoes compared to a lot of channels.
But I'll tell you, Nan, if you want to email me, I will be happy to give you any tips to help you get started or help you grow. Anything I've learned, I'm happy to share.
Mrs. E studies like mad. She does. She studies all the experts and techniques. So she's if we're doing well, it's because of Mrs. E. It is because she learned a lot about this before we ever even did our first live stream.
Yes, she did.
She's a researcher like that.
And wow.
Thank you. Wow,
you were so
10
sweet.
memberships. Thank
so
you.
much.
So all you new members can tune in tomorrow night.
That is very sweet.
Awesome. And if you got gifted a membership by Wow,
I think
please tell
Mama Rissa
Wow.
got one of those memberships
Awesome.
actually. So you can join us tomorrow night if you like.
Please tell Wow thank you if you received a gifted membership. And can I play the song for Wow?
Sure.
The gifted membership
That's
song.
a lot. Sure.
And Tina D got one of those also. Get Lockered.
Awesome.
Also very good.
All right. I'm going to play the
thank you,
membership
Wow.
song real quick.
Yeah.
We feel so blessed. Crime Dog memberships are the best. Thank you, what a gift. What a gift. What a gift.
Thank you so much. Wow, that really does mean a lot to us. It helps support our channel so that we can keep. I say that it doesn't keep the lights on, but it does keep the StreamYard on. So we appreciate you for that. Thank you so much.
So you might have heard this from last week. We talked about it on our last.
Sorry, that's my chat GPT just started talking.
I have so many tabs.
I was like, "What's going on?" I pulled up some stats on the Crystal Rogers case just so I had the information correct, and he just started talking.
That's okay. If we do the Crystal Rogers thing, we should probably do like a stream to go over the story or a video or something, to get if there's folks that want to jump on, if we choose to do that, kind of like we did with Megan. We did one like that with Megan Boswell too.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case people are not familiar with it, we could kind of jump on there together.
I'm sorry. Before you start, people are asking how Middle East doing real quick.
We're still kind of in the same place. He's doing. He feels fine. He thinks he's doing well. We think he's doing well. We're just basically in the situation where each MRI over the next year and a half or so will be kind of a milestone. We'll be doing those soon. They're going to do one sometime this summer, and but physically he thinks he's doing great, and we think so. And as far as we know, everything's. It's a situation where, but from the way he feels and acts, you won't know anything's wrong. It'll just come down to these MRIs, but we're doing our plan and sticking to it, and
probably have another fasting coming up.
As soon as they get back from camp, actually, it's time to do another fast. So we'll be doing one of those here next week.
Great.
looking forward to that. Yes. So, but yeah, so I do appreciate that. So I just wanted to start with some good news here, and these are 100. You probably heard this last week, but it is going to lead into something else I'm going to talk about. But 109 children were rescued in a sting with the FBI and several other agencies in Texas. 244 people were arrested. So a massive operation there. But then that doesn't even stop. So today, U.S. Marshals lead an operation in Florida, rescuing 60 what they describe as critically missing children, and it looks like there's I think 8 arrests. And this was a 2-week operation. The U.S. Marshals in this article, they say it's the biggest operation they've done like this in their history that they know of. At least that's what that spokesperson was saying. And of course, the children's identities, all of that will remain confidential. But they just said they ranged in age from 9 to 17 years old. And something we all notice, maybe others have noticed this too. But the operation is called Operation Dragon Eye. And didn't it make you think of Sebastian because of the dragons and his interest in that and everything? And I mean, I don't know. We probably would have heard if he was part of that, but I always kind of wonder when you have these big, giant groups of 60 children rescued, it could be any of these kids that we've been following. It could be a Summer Wells or a Sebastian or anyone that has been lost for some time.
Well, it's wonderful that these families are going to get their kids back.
It is so amazing news. So our agencies, they get, they're doing some serious work right now.
Thank you, Mallycat. Mallycat gifted 1 membership. If you received a membership from Mallycat, please tell her thank you. That's so sweet of you. I won't make everybody listen to the song again, but if you'd like to hear a song, you let me know. I mean, that's wonderful news. So what is that in total? So it's 60, and then the other was
109 if you count the Texas operation, 60 here.
So 169.
Yeah.
And it looks like people in chat agree with you that it kind of reminded them of Sebastian. Wouldn't that be wonderful if, he were found?
I mean, it might be a few days before the families
find
out and are alerted and that kind of thing. But you never know. You never know. I mean, it's one of the theories, if he's alive out there, that he could be in a situation like this. Let's see. Nick Mick apparently was involved. So I'm just kind of scrolling through here. But anyway, that's just great work by them. And so That's just great news.
I thought the term critically missing was odd. I didn't know that they ranked them as,
Yeah.
critically missing. I just thought that was an odd term.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I don't think I've ever heard it described that way either.
No, I just wondered if there were levels of missing kids. I just don't know. I would think all kids are critically, if they're missing or critically missing.
Could it be like missing kids versus runaways? Like versus, you know what I mean? Like
I don't know. Critically, I don't know. I just thought it was an odd turn of phrase.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I agree, Mrs. C. I think that's kind of what it sounds like to me. It kind of sounds like that might imply abducted
Versus
teenagers and
versus
children.
runaways. I don't know. We probably could have looked that up, but
well, they'd probably have to clarify themselves what they meant by critically, I guess. I don't think it's really said in that article.
well, they're not going to release who's been found, correct?
No, but they might go into more description. It just said that they were getting therapy, they were being debriefed, the children were, and so anyway, so that's great work by them.
Mhm.
I'm glad our marshals and FBI are doing the kind of work that they're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of wanted to start with that, and I'm going to bring something else up here too that's going to seem maybe unrelated in a sense, but I'm going to tie it in here. Did that come up?
What are you trying? I don't see anything where
Okay,
you're trying
let's
to put
see.
anything up.
All right, there we go. All right, so you may or may not be following this story, but this is Travis Decker, who is still on the run out in possibly Washington State, and the Marshal Service have put up a $20,000 reward for him. And if you're not familiar with his story, he took the lives of his 3 elementary school aged children, essentially walking them down a embankment and suffocating them in some form or fashion, one at a time. And he has military training, survival type of training, and you would have to consider him to be extremely dangerous. And they think he's alive. There's been a lot of possible sightings and leads and that kind of thing. So they seem to believe that he is still out there, not deceased at this point. And so, of course, obviously, I'm just, we've got the poster up. Keep an eye out for him, especially if you're up at that Pacific Northwest area. But you would have to consider him extremely dangerous. So it almost makes you think of some kind of like Rambo situation, right?
Right.
Like a survivalist in the woods. He could go a long time, and anybody could be a target. He might, who knows what's in his mind? He might be thinking of other family members or his ex-wife or anyone.
I just can't imagine.
So he's a real danger, and they very desperately need to find him. And they're offering a $20,000 reward, right? So that makes me think of Sebastian. And in this case, the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for a missing child.
Okay, hold on one
Yes.
second. Just so you know, all the kids are not at camp. Our oldest is here,
Yeah.
and he is having a big time, I guess, watching videos. So because he's giggling in the background.
Yes.
So didn't want you to think that we were laughing.
No,
or
just
anything.
their 2 youngest are at camp.
Yeah.
But so with Sebastian here, you've got a $50,000 reward, right? So comparing these two, you've got this extremely dangerous, lethal, on the run, could be a danger to anyone at any moment with a $20,000 reward. But Sebastian Rogers has a $50,000 reward for a missing child.
Mm-hmm.
So my question really is why? And this doesn't happen with most of these missing children cases. Typically, it's more like $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. What has made Sebastian Rogers this kind of situation? So I asked AI, and we did Google searches just to confirm and make sure this is right. But what is the largest reward the FBI has ever offered in a missing child case? And AI came back with the largest reward the FBI has ever offered in a missing child case is $50,000. This reward was offered in the case of Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old who disappeared in Hendersonville, Tennessee on February 2024. The FBI is offering the reward for information leading to a safe return or the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. So why? Right? Why? What has made his situation so different from all these other missing children cases? That has, where I think the second highest one I could find was a $25,000 reward. Well, there is a reason that's you don't offer a reward that large by their standards, unless there's a purpose and a strategy behind it. Obviously we could speculate what that would be, but I think one thing you could rule out is that they think he's a runaway teen just backpacking across the country on his own.
Yeah, that completely throws that theory out the window.
And Mama Marissa says that says a lot to me. I believe they think he's still alive.
I think that is a strong possibility. So we've always kind of theorized that we believed he left the home alive. I'm not sure if he left the home now at this point or not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We're going to talk about that tonight because there's some of these theories that and different information's come out over the last few weeks. So we're going to kind of go through that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of rethinking personally some of my leading theories, and we're going to go through these and see what we think. It certainly could mean that, and I think it also means that there are multiple people involved. I think it means that as well. So I think that they think that there's people with information, and that 50,000 could move the needle.
Right.
So
of course, At Night still has their reward as well, but you're focusing on the FBI because it is the largest.
I'm focusing on the FBI because of the comparison to all the other missing cases, cases.
Yeah, I mean, you think about all the kids that have gone missing and have been high profile, even more high profile than Sebastian, and Sebastian has the largest reward that's ever been offered. Wow. I mean,
could it be something like that? Like what Janet just said? I think it might be. I think it's possible.
Right. This is why we can't stop looking. Exactly.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he was alive on the 25th. And so whatever happened after that, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he left the situation. My leading theory is that he left the situation alive. Whether he made it home or not, I'm not sure. But I think he left there alive. Of course, anything could have happened over the last 16 months, which is why, you really can't stop looking for him. You can't. That's why the months and months in between hearing anything from the Proudfoots is so disappointing. Because there really should be a sense of urgency from them. You don't have time. If he is in one of those kind of situations, then every day he's in danger. So it is urgent, especially if he's alive. It's very urgent.
And Deanna says that yes, that right now the sheriff's department will not accept help.
This is what we're hearing.
This is what we hear.
So that's what we've heard also. So that Seth they've tried to bring in the marshals and they don't want it.
They've tried to bring in
they've tried to bring in Cold Case Foundation. They didn't want it.
They don't want it.
Try to bring in I heard Coffin Daffer today. I was listening to her live from last night. I think Auntie heard it also, right? She was saying that NCMEC, because they have a service kind of similar to what Cold Case does,
right?
And they're reaching out, trying to get involved, but they have to be invited by Sumner County as well. And so far, they're saying, "Oh no, we got this. We don't need your help."
Yeah.
So they're turning everybody down.
And I'll tell you, as a resident of this county, it's scary and it's infuriating that they do not give us updates. I mean, just compared to like Jack and Lily, it feels like we're getting updates every other day or every day.
Yeah, of
from
course. They're handling it right.
The Royal Mounted, I can't even remember.
Canadian Police.
Thank you. Yeah. It seems like we're getting that every day or every other day. Some type of update of what they're doing.
Well, Jennifer Coffindaffer went over the last verbal update and the last written update. And the last verbal update was April of last year, only 2 months after he went missing. And then the only written update was around in December of last year. And that's the only 2 updates that there has been. The second one was specifically related to Green Hoodie. And
Right.
that was the written
Right.
one. And she said that. And she also, you know, if you haven't got a chance to watch her broadcast from yesterday, she does a lot of discussion about the police and what's been going on and what she feels like is going on.
Yeah, Real Me Too did tell me this yesterday, as they won't give Seth any more flyers, if that's not crazy.
To me, them not accepting this help. Yeah, I know. I've heard this too. To me, this situation where Sumner County sheriffs are refusing assistance from all of these agencies, and the marshals is only acceptable if they're months or weeks away from an arrest.
Mm-hmm.
That they've got the case, they're just in the final stages, and we're almost at the end.
I think that's kind of what we thought a few months ago, right?
That's part of why we thought a few months ago there were little signs like this. We
Correct.
thought we were thinking they were in the home stretch. If they're not in the home stretch, then this is it's completely unforgivable and unacceptable.
I mean, it's scary to be a parent in this county and them not, you know, follow. It feels like they're not following through, or they're just kind of hoping it'll go away.
Because it would mean either they've got overinflated egos, or no interest in solving the case. Right, something along those lines.
And Janice,
that's ridiculous.
Right. And Janice said, is it due to failing to do a thorough investigation and they don't want anyone that can point out their shortcomings?
I think that's a big possibility, Jana.
It could be.
It could be all about ego. I mean, a lot of times these things are about ego.
Aw,
you know?
Titans fan 7 became a member.
Well,
thank you
Titans
so
fan.
much. We appreciate you supporting our channel. That's very kind of you.
I'm a Titans fan as well, so welcome in.
Very much so. We were talking about our regular schedule, and one of the things he said most people will not want to do a live stream on Monday nights because of Monday Night Football. And I said, I don't think our people care. And he's like, oh, I think they do.
One of the hosts might care. Yeah.
And Tennessee Nurse also said there's absolutely no reason they can't say something, even if there's no change. At least it shows they care. And that was something that Jennifer Coffindaffer was saying. She said, you know, they could even just come out and talk to the parents and tell Seth or tell Katie and Chris, you know, we don't have any information, and you know, they don't come out at all. They haven't made any comments to anyone.
I want to address Charlene. Charlene, I know my face is covered. I like to put myself there on the bottom. So when we have a comment, my face gets covered because, you know, I just get.
It is intentional.
It is intentional. It's intentional on my part because I don't like being on camera that much. So don't worry. You get to see the other two. It's fine.
There you are.
Yeah.
That is by design.
That is, yeah. If you notice, if you watch the live streams, I move our faces around. So,
Since we're talking about Coffindaffer, she said something else too. She was talking about FBI agents that she's in touch with, and she was talking about how she was talking to some agents that were young when she was there, and they're kind of like experienced now. And she was like, "Well, we were talking about another case, but blah blah blah." So that's why I always pay attention to Coffindaffer, because she's still got connection. She was talking to an agent about some other case. I have no idea what case she was talking about, but you know, she's hearing things. And so she's got good sources. I know there's people that are fans of her and people that are not fans of her, because she's strong in her opinions on things. And so she will take a position, and, you know, sometimes they plan out and sometimes they don't, but she's not afraid to put her opinion out there. And so she gets a lot of pushback for that.
I'm going to address Rosebud, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Rosebud says, for them to fight for a jurisdiction power is not right. This is a child, and political gain is no place for that. I will tell you personally, as a resident of the county and a voter, this does not make me so inclined to want to vote for this particular sheriff again.
Well, and that was something that Coffindaffer pointed out. She showed Craddock's social media and how he had been doing all these fun activities with people in the sheriff's department, and all this stuff was posted. She said, but not one picture anywhere about being involved in the search, talking to investigators, nothing about anything about Sebastian or showing that he is out there doing his job. It was all leisurely activities and fun activities and not job centered at all.
Right. And I saw Pebbles also put in the chat. Let me see. She had put up there is a change.org link. I lost
Here it is. I got it.
I will post that on our community page, and it's kind of a petition. I'm sorry, you all. I blanked. It's a petition. I'm sorry, but I'll put it in our.
What's the petition for?
That's what I'm pulling up. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it.
Oh, are you going to put something up on the screen?
Well, I know that you're working. Hold on one second.
Yeah,
I'm going to try to get this.
Getting my next thing here.
I'm trying to get it. I can't find it. Can you star that for me, Aunt E?
Yes, I will star her.
So I can.
Yes.
Thank you.
I just did.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I don't know how to click on it though.
I know you're trying to highlight this. I'm not going to pull it down, but Real Me Too is just saying, I can tell you Jennifer Coffindaffer does work behind the scenes trying to help Sebastian. And we've heard that a number of times also, that she is privately trying to work for him. So I know that is true.
Oh my goodness, I can't get it to come up. All right. Let's see. I was going to pull it up on the screen. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, here it is. Okay. I wanted to get it exactly right.
Sure.
Basically, it says let me just share it, if you don't mind for a second.
Go ahead.
Let me share it. Share screen. There it is. So it is a petition, and it says the issue is we want the FBI to take over the investigation of the case of missing Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. It's been 15 months now, almost 16, right? Since Sebastian has gone missing. No scent trail from dogs, no video footage of Sebastian leaving his mother's house, yet no criminal investigation at all by TBI or Sumner County Sheriff's Office. So, and you can go in here and there is 19,884 verified signatures. That is awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to share this in our community tab so you guys can also do this.
That's it. You said 19,000?
Yes, verified signatures.
1984.
That's incredible. Good for you guys.
In fact,
I need to do that. I haven't done it yet.
I haven't done that either.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really been disappointing to see the police fail Sebastian. It really has.
Well, what a great thing to do there. So, so if you have not done this yet, I'll do this when we're finished tonight myself and sign that petition. Let's get over 20,000 with it. At least we're almost there.
Okay.
Have you already done it yourself?
No. I'm not sure. I have not done it, and I keep meaning to, and I'm just so happy that she put it up because I kept forgetting to do it.
That's
so
great.
I am going to do that as well. I'm just trying to get the petition up on it's going to go up on our community posts right now.
Yes, if you're watching this later, go to our YouTube channel and you can see in our community posts. If you're watching this on the replay,
right,
you should be able to find it. Yeah,
I'm going to put.
So we're just 120 away from 20,000. We can get that. 20,000 would be a nice number.
That's it.
19,000 is incredible, actually. To get 19,000 people to sign anything,
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that and kind of.
Yeah, that's great.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off track.
That's okay. No, I'm glad. I didn't realize that petition was like that. So No, I'm glad we're doing that.
I don't. Says, so what can the community of Sumner County do in this situation? I'm not sure. Betty is also planning a. I wouldn't call it a protest, a gathering, but she's been talking about that quite a bit. And Real Me Too and she have been working on it really super
Is
hard.
the date announced yet for that, by the way? Real Me Too, do you know? I've heard Betty talk about it, but I haven't caught the date. If there's one named.
Girl mom. Hi, girl mom. Can Seth get a lawyer to get a warrant to find out what Sumner County has? He does have an attorney, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he can.
I guess if I'm Seth, I just always think I like what I would do if I were in his position. If I were Seth, I would have a date in mind before I took action like that. And I would try to think of where my line was, where I thought, okay, this thing's going cold.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can't know that. He doesn't know. He doesn't know if tomorrow the arrests are coming or they know, or they've got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, or in between. And there's no real way for him to know that. It could be any day something's going to break in the case and happen.
And I think
I know it's incredibly difficult to be impatient, of course, who could be for 16 months in, but I would hope I could rationally think like the 2-year mark, the 3-year mark might be when I would start taking legal action myself. I would probably have a date set.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of when he turns 18, if it's still not solved at that point, which would be just a year and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
We're already a year and a half in.
Right.
There are stories of these missing kids.
I know where you're going. Because we've talked about this before.
That have been away for whatever reason and usually escaping some kind of domestic violence situation and have returned to a sheriff's office or a police station, walked in and said, I'm 18 years old now. I'm no longer missing.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be something to me to watch for if this case is still unsolved.
Well, we've also heard that
when he's 18.
Sometimes when people become 18 and they're missing as a minor, that they will go off the missing persons list when they turn 18. We've heard that before.
Oh, right.
Too.
And there's that too.
Mm-hmm.
There's that too.
So time is of the essence here.
I don't know how he can go off the missing persons list if he doesn't turn up, though, because he was already reported missing as a minor.
It doesn't matter.
He's not a minor. It's not. It's
different. But he went missing as a minor, though.
Right, and so did other people. I promise, if you look it up, you'll see that does happen. That sometimes, and I'm not saying Sumner County will do this, but sometimes what happens is the police department want those missing people off of their record.
Yeah, their case.
So when they become 18, they knock them off. No joke.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen in this situation.
I don't know what the history of Sumner County is particularly on this, but I do know of this happening.
Yeah.
Because it's terrifying.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Right, Ashley, perfect.
Right.
Once you're an adult, you can go missing if you want to.
Right.
And I can't remember. I think we were listening to a Crime Junkies when we started talking about this. I think that happened.
It's happened in a few cases like that, but it happened on a Crime Junkies we were listening to like that.
Wow, says it seems like they've already knocked him off, in my opinion. Well,
yeah, it does seem like that.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Oh, that's a good point, Mima. We all knew who Edgar is, thanks to our friend Justin.
Yes.
Said maybe when he's 18. Remember? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some stuff there. So
yeah. So that would be something. If I'm Seth, obviously you don't want to wait a year and a half to know what's going to happen. But if 18 rolls around, it's something it's just one of those milestones that it could be a turning point in the case if it's not solved by then. Hopefully, obviously that's not the case. So I
This is Real Me Too said that Operation Angel Wings is just getting started. We figure 2 to 3 months, and we'll be at the governor's mansion, and the government bill will be invited to speak.
she probably means Governor Billy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. And he might speak. I could see him coming up for that. So 2 to 3 months, so probably early fall, late summer or so.
It'd be nice if Marsha Blackburn came out too. Oh, and Melody Faith, thank you so much for becoming a member. That helps us so much. We appreciate you. Thank you. And at the end, I'm going to play the Crime Dog song just so I don't keep interrupting you, because I know that frustrates some people when I interrupt you all the time.
We just have so much to get into tonight that I want to kind of get into it here soon. Unless you got
Go
anything
for
else.
Go. And Whiskey Yankee Whiskey Yankee Charlie had asked if this was the same petition that he or she had already signed, and it is the petition that's been going around for a while. I just had not seen the link in a long time, and I've been meaning to want to put it up, and Pebbles put it in chat. So if you have not signed it, I would encourage you to do so that we can get that over 20,000. That would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
And if you have signed the chat, go ahead and put a 1 in chat just so we can see, or signed the petition. Just so we can kind of get a general idea and seeing more of our friends come in. Just a Girl Who Loves Frogs. Welcome. Sassy T renewed her membership. Thank you so much, Sassy. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Sassy.
We appreciate your all support. We really do. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. So before we kind of get into the theorizing part, there was another kind of topic that one of the subscribers had messaged us, and we get a lot of great things from members and subscribers and people that reach out to us with ideas and such. And someone had made a point to me that had never really occurred to me. And it was about the flashlight video, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with the case, there's really not a lot of, in a lot of ways, there's not a lot of firm evidence that we've got out there that we've had come out over the last year and a half. We've got basically all of you could take all of the interviews with the parents and consider that some form of evidence.
Yes, Tennessee Nurse, you're probably looking at the wrong one, because the other one has about 19,000.
And it's going up since we started talking about it. There's 6 more.
Oh, very good. So then
you guys are awesome.
You've got the flashlights video that came out just a few weeks after the disappearance. And then you've got the Texas Roadhouse video that came out in, I don't know what, November, December of 2024. Outside of that, we don't know a lot of other information. A lot of it's just speculation and such, because we just haven't had a lot to dissect and look at outside of that. So I'm going to start with this phrasing. So if you remember when the investigator for the Proudfoot, they had that video come out of at the top of the neighborhood that Chris and Katie were trying to sell as possibly being Sebastian.
Don't get me started.
And it was all part of that 1-year anniversary kind of psyop they were trying to run on everybody to try to act like, hey, this is the new video. This is the important sighting, to kind of distract us.
Right.
And it flopped because they dropped it too early, and everybody had time a day or two to dissect it. Even law enforcement immediately came out and debunked this video. And so I want to set that up first as an example of how law enforcement can react. So in this article about that, the Proudfoot video with that person moving at the top of the neighborhood, that definitely was not Sebastian, had nothing to do with Sebastian. We all knew it. But here's what Craddock said in this quote: law enforcement has had possession of the original video since 72 hours after Sebastian was reported missing. After thoroughly investigating this lead, we determined that it has no relevance to the case. That's about as strong of language as you can make.
Absolutely.
On something being irrelevant, right?
Right.
I mean, so that's firm. This is a nothing burger. We had it 72 hours in. We knew very quickly this was nothing, and it has no relevance to the case.
Right.
I also want to say before we get into this, let's go. No matter, I know there are people that probably think that Sumner's corrupt. There are probably people that think that they are not. For the time being, for this exercise, let's try to go with it at the angle that Craddock is trying to be as honest as possible
Okay.
without jeopardizing the investigation,
All right.
because it's one or the other, right? Either they are or they're not. So we're going to go with Craddock is trying to be honest with the public
Okay.
from that lens.
Okay.
Even if you don't believe that, just kind of play with me on that idea, or humor me on that, I guess. So let's go to, this is back April 2nd, 2024. And this is Craddock. This is after the flashlights video has come out. And I just want to, let's just play his and listen to his language and kind of watch his, I hadn't looked at this in a long time. And it plays differently to me now than it did a year ago.
I think a lot of things would play differently to us now because of the things that we've learned.
Yeah. So let's.
Eric Craddock is chief deputy with
Can
the
you make
Sumner
it big?
County
Okay.
Sheriff's Office and heads up the investigation. He sat down for an exclusive one-on-one to talk about what they do when there are few new leads.
I think in the absence of information, what we'll continue to do is go back over everything we've already done once, put a fresh set of eyes on it.
To that end, Craddock says searchers recently found a pair of glasses, which they are checking to see if they belong to Sebastian. He says the parents continue to fully cooperate. Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
I asked about exclusive home security video obtained from the neighborhood the night Sebastian disappeared. You can see two suspicious light sources, which we've circled here, in an area behind the teen's home. Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value.
So that phrase. So he's talking about evidence,
I'm smiling because I know where you're going.
right? So he's talking about evidence. That phrase, evidentiary value, is a very unusual phrase. And when you watch him speak, he's speaking in a very careful, calculated way.
Measured. Yeah.
He is choosing his words carefully. He's not just talking off the cuff. So what one of our subscribers pointed out to me was that this flashlight video, which has been controversial actually the last month or so, because there's starting to be some doubt on whether or not it's a trash truck, whether or not it's flashlights, and all of that. But what they pointed out to me is that the timestamp being wrong on that surveillance video, it could never really be used in a courtroom. Even if they're able to show, oh, well, here's later that morning at 7:00, there's Katie leaving her house, and here's the school buses coming in and everything else, and all we got to do is back up to when, and prove and show all the searchers. Even doing that, it still, because of that timestamp being wrong on that video, it'll never be introduced as evidence in a courtroom. Any decent defense attorney will get it tossed. And even if they can't, there will be so much doubt in a juror's mind looking at it. They're going to wonder, what is this? This isn't even the same date. How do I know this video hasn't been manipulated? Those kind of doubts would be put in the juror's mind, and that had never occurred to me, because I just was thinking of it in terms of, oh, well, they can just rewind and show you in the video. But if you learned anything from really any court case, but I would, the Karen Reed, you start putting doubt in a juror's mind about the authenticity of the evidence that they're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the best you got, then you don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
when you look up the definition of what the phrase "no evidentiary value" means, it says that something like an object, a statement, or a piece of information does not contribute to proving or disproving a fact in a legal case. And that's exactly what you're saying. It can't prove anything because it doesn't have the correct date. And I never even thought of that until you just said that. But it truly does not support or not support anything because it has false information attached to it.
Right. It's in that there will be enough doubt in an uneducated juror's mind that's looking at all this for the first time. It would take, you'd have to believe you could convince all 12 jurors
Right.
that this
Now,
is an authentic piece of evidence. And this is what Nicey Marie's saying. If they prove it was jammed, I believe it can be proven, in my opinion. That's a stretch too. And that's a long way to go in a courtroom.
Well,
you would have to physically be able to show on the camera how it stopped recording. It was recording on the right
trying to
date, and
show
then
you
it was
this.
switched.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to show you this.
Okay.
Girl Mom says they showed in Joe Clyde Daniels' case, and the time was off.
Oh,
showed
they
the
did.
vi-
Okay.
Yeah, and Joe Clyde Daniels' case is also one that they still do not have a body for.
Yeah, but they got a confession.
But they got a confession. You're right. And I wanted to point out, Lisa Rua says there are two petitions. I can't speak tonight. I'm going to step away and start over, I think. There are two petitions, one by Seth with 19,895 signatures. Check
That's
you
great.
have signed Seth, please, and thank you. Absolutely, Lisa.
Gotcha.
And make
That's
sure
the
you
one.
have your
That's the one I put up.
friends, spouses,
Let's see
you
if
know,
it's gone up any-
anybody that you can have sign it.
So,
Oh, we're at
and thank you, Lisa, for doing that.
19,899. We're almost at 19,900. So
Very
let's keep
close.
going. You guys are
And I
awesome.
haven't
Thank
even
you
signed
so
it yet,
much.
so-
Yeah, and we haven't. We need to do it.
I just did.
Did you?
Yeah, I just did it.
So this is what's so, we based a lot of our thoughts on this flashlight video, of course, and so, but in a way, it doesn't matter if this flashlight video ends up being a trash truck I still think it's the flashlights. I know there's a lot of people I
Oh.
respect that think differently.
And
but
thank you, Lisa, for the super chat.
I
Sorry.
said I did say
Okay,
thank you.
sorry.
Yes, we do appreciate it. And I still think it's what it looks like. I know there's lots of people I respect that think differently. I still believe that we're looking at lights go across the backyard.
I think so too.
That's still my opinion, but it almost doesn't matter if it can't be introduced as evidence. All it can, it could at best case scenario be supplemental to really good evidence that they can bring to trial.
Yeah.
Because if they're relying on that, it's not going to work. And even unless there's other camera angles that can show faces that they have, and maybe they do.
And Kathleen, I think that you can sign it. It allows you to put the country that you're from. So I think you can sign it.
Well, why don't you go with what
it
you
does. It does. So what they're saying, I will call you out if they show the whole video. It proves the date and time because of the trash truck coming after the car leaving. Yeah, but if you're the juror, if you've got a good defense attorney, they're going to come in and go, "Hey, look, if the timestamp's wrong on this, how do we know they didn't just somebody at the house didn't do this, didn't do some creative editing? We might believe it, but all you need is a little doubt in a juror's mind, and then there's double jeopardy, and you never get these people convicted."
Right.
And
If there was a way to show that it was jammed, though, while it was playing, like where the time changes or the date changes on it to a previous date, or the time quits working, you could show how it was working correctly before, but then then something happened. I think you could show that it was tampered with.
that would be interesting if they can prove that.
Yeah.
If they have I don't know how they can have evidence that they did it. Or
I know.
whoever we think they is. I mean, we know
Right.
who we think they is, but
Mhm.
whatever, the abductors, people in the house, whoever you
Right.
think jammed the signal.
Bless
to have
Mom says
some-
don't forget all the other footage they have from the neighborhood
Yeah.
too. But
Go
go on with your point, because you have a good point here.
Go
Do you-
ahead. Maybe I don't know where I'm going with it.
Oh, I think you do.
All right. Help me then. Maybe I got
If it's of no evidentiary value, show it.
actually I wasn't going to say that. We were just talking about that.
Oh.
But yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you got fired up about that the other
I
night.
did. So, well, okay. So let's take let's
Becky's
So-
seeing a mug and she can't see our comments. I think you can click out of that. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
I
It was on-
actually, I was trying a new thing. I took it off. So I think if you refresh or go back out and come back in, it'll be gone.
okay.
So this, we were just talking about this. I wasn't going to mention it tonight because I didn't even think about it.
Oh, sorry. Were you saving that?
No, I wasn't. I just didn't.
But
think
it was
that-
a great point. It
Well,
was
it
one
is-
of the best things you've said to me in a long time. So I want people to know.
So again, if we're looking at it through the lens of Craddock, trying to tell us the truth as best he can
Right.
tell it, then if it's of no evidentiary value, then,
And it's what they say it is.
and if it's worthless, then why not just release it? If it's just, why can't we have it? Why can't we just see it then?
Why can't we see the whole thing?
Release the whole video. So the person at that house, that you've been told by Craddock that it's of no value, you can release it, right? Or are they asking you to hold that back?
Just
If it's
Jana,
of
you are
no
so sweet.
Evidentiary value.
Thank you, Jana.
I mean, but I think he's being careful with his words. I think what he's saying, he's not giving this the total dismissal that he did the
Right.
private investigator
Right.
video. He's giving this it's of no evidentiary value. Not that it's not helping them to understand what happened, or that it's not helpful in their understanding and decision making, and narrowing down what happened to Sebastian that night. Just that it's of no evidentiary value if it ever comes to trial. 'Cause
Right.
I think I know that there's a lot of bad feelings about Craddock. I think in general, though, I'm thinking he's trying to stay as close to the truth as he can. He's
Right.
but I've always been in the law enforcement's been building a case. So I've been kind of in the minority on that. But that's still where I'm at. I still think they're trying to build the case. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it, or
Okay.
if they are, letting their egos get in the way or something along those lines.
Just
And
release it though. If it's, I mean, if they say it's the trash truck or whatever, let's see it. Let's see
if it's
it.
a trash truck, then
So
why
let's
not
see it.
Why can't we look at trash trucks?
Right. Well, how's that
What's
going to
so-
hurt?
It's not going to hurt a thing.
Mm-mm.
So if it's the trash truck, then go ahead and put it out.
Yeah. Put
the
it out.
full video from start to finish,
Right.
since it's of no evidentiary value and it's not going to hurt a case at all.
Right.
And that's what he told us, right?
Okay.
So
Cece
a
said
little
it's
facetious
because
there.
he's bluffing and stuck. Rosebud says, like Alan Jackson said during Karen Reed's trial, do it. And Little
Yeah,
Red
do it.
wants to know, does any YouTube creator have the entire video? No. And I believe Miss Bobby told us that the police came in and took the system that it was on.
Yeah. I think
So the police are the only ones that have a copy of it anymore, other than this recorded piece that Nick Barris received. Correct? That's the way I understand it.
I'm
Miss
not sure.
Bobby talked about it in one of her phone calls that someone released.
Yeah, I'd have to go back.
Be the reason. Bentley said the flashlights might be the reason Chris's truck was pinged in the area, and Chris lied on ET about it not being that night. That could be.
Yeah. So that if you don't know what he's talking about there, that's when Chris came out of a long hiatus from social media, and came out because he was upset about this, because they were talking about on that particular YouTuber show, Elevated Truth, that they were talking about the truck pinging, and he was really upset about that and wanted
Yeah,
to
he went
set the
berserk.
record straight.
Right.
Yeah.
So that brought him out. So that lets you know it's a sore spot.
Well, girl, mom, you've got another good point. How did Nick Barris know to align the lights in that video, and how to determine that there was a subject 1 and subject 2, and also wouldn't have had to have the homeowner's permission to release that video? Great.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone talked to
guys-
him about it, right?
We have a bunch of smarties in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's. I just want to finish this too, because there's a little bit more, just 30 seconds of this interview.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No,
Why?
because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so
So why can't he just say it's a trash truck?
Right.
It's a trash truck.
Right.
You
Let's
people
see
are
the whole
crazy. It's
thing.
a trash truck.
Let's see it.
We're not, unless the trash truck is part of the investigation.
Do it. Mhm.
You think something happened with the trash truck? Right.
I mean, once you said that,
But doesn't he come out at some point and say it's a trash truck?
No. The parents.
Law
the,
enforcement never makes
the parents
statement?
did. The parents.
Okay.
The parents do.
I wasn't sure. I remembered the statement being made more than once.
But that's what I'm saying. If it does, if it is truly a trash truck, then release it. Let's see it.
Why not just say this was a trash truck?
Tina, absolutely.
What's the reason?
Because it's not a trash truck.
I don't think it's a trash truck.
I think that that's not.
There's some very smart people think it's a trash truck. I don't think it's a trash truck.
And,
I just don't
and they
believe,
may have
Right.
I'll have to see that with my own eyes to believe this.
Right.
Right.
I want to
Right.
see, and I do.
And I'll be, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yes.
But
If we're wrong, we'll say it.
I just don't believe it. I just don't see trash truck here. What's going on with this truck? Did it separate?
Right.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
mean-
transformer.
Does it have a detachable part?
It's a transformer.
I mean,
You
it just
know.
doesn't make sense. And, I know they've been very adamant about it being a trash truck, but there's no way you can explain the way the lights separate. They're not going to move on a truck and separate and then come back together and only one go. And then you only see one going back toward the house. And how is the trash truck in the ditch?
Yeah, I just, and you can see the other cars. You've got a point of reference.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
let's just, well,
I'll have to see that with my own eyes one day to ever believe
okay.
that.
Well, let's just say, just for argument's sake,
Yeah.
that is a trash truck and we're all wrong. We're all
Okay.
wrong about these 3 a.m. lights.
Right.
Explain that weird car. That weird car is still doing some weird stuff.
Right.
And Bentley said the trash company responded to people on Facebook saying the times they were in the neighborhood. If it was a part of the investigation, then they would have been able to respond. So the trash truck did or did not respond, the company. If it was a part of the investigation, then they would have been able to respond.
I think they probably mean
Would
wouldn't
not have been able to respond.
I bet
Gotcha.
they mean wouldn't. Yeah.
True. Well, that's a big point.
And April from Illinois, thank you for becoming a member.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
That does help out our channel. We
Thank you very much.
appreciate
We'll
you.
see you tomorrow night, baby.
Yes, we're going to have our members only, where members can come up on stage with us on the panel and talk to us live. It'll be fun.
We're going to get into our main thing tonight. I just wanted to do this first.
The
but I've got-
company did respond. They wouldn't have been able to respond.
Right. They wouldn't have been able to respond. They would have been contacted and said, "Hey, you can't."
Yeah, the police would have said you cannot respond about the times that you were in the neighborhood.
Right. So what
I
is
know
this
it
about?
Oh, now I'm following.
So
Okay.
they're not part of the investigation.
It's not
So
part of-
release the trash truck.
Well, and the
Release
time- And the times that they said they were there was not at 3 a.m. to my understanding. Is that correct?
Okay. I'm sorry.
Not
say-
in their neighborhood.
Right.
Supposedly a neighboring neighborhood.
Sammy
But-
G. Oh, I love that picture. They did respond. They said law enforcement reached out to them, not that they reached out to Ellie about heaviness. I called them.
LE called them. They just had the L and E separated. Because of that, do you remember they reached
That
out to them
Facebook
about
post.
about
Mhm.
the can being heavy and all that. Yeah. So let me
Well,
get a
April, thank you for becoming a member, and I'm glad that you're here. I don't know about the other two, but I'm definitely glad you're
I
here.
said thank you.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking.
So we got 20 seconds left of this here. I
Okay,
might-
sorry.
It's okay.
Could play a role down the road depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know. So yes, it could play a role.
So many are, of course, closely following this case. How difficult has it been, all the noise on social media?
Oh, the rumor mill on social media has done nothing to advance this case.
Craddock says investigators continue to work the case daily and deal not with feelings, but facts and evidence.
There's no stone left unturned.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
We should
I
have the
should-
deception detective look at that.
Well, I'll tell you, Deception Detective may not like what I'm about to do here.
Okay.
Because I'm going to talk a little body language.
Uh-oh.
So, I'm using AI again, actually, but this is all kind of lines up with what with my understanding of this. So if you noticed, a lot of times during that particular interview, he's saying yes, but his head's saying no.
no.
So when someone shakes their head no while saying yes, it typically indicates a conflict between their verbal and nonverbal communication, often suggesting uncertainty, reluctance, or a desire to please while internally disagreeing. So I think he's conflicted during this with the messaging he's saying. I don't think he's exactly lying. I
But
think
he's conflicted.
He's conflicted with what he can say and cannot say.
Mhm.
So it's so this incongruent behavior can also be a sign of not yet being ready to fully admit or discuss a feeling or situation. I think that's exactly what
That is
Craddock
exactly. It
going
sounds
through.
right.
This incongruent behavior can also be a sign of not yet being ready to fully admit or discuss a feeling or situation. Meaning, I don't think he feels like he can fully discuss
Right.
this flashlight video at all. So there's more breakdown here. Shaking his head side to side typically means no, while verbalizing yes indicates agreement. When these contradict, it creates confusion about the speaker's true intention, uncertainty, and reluctance. This incongruence can stem from uncertainty about the situation or reluctance to fully commit to the verbal answer, according to some experts. The speaker might be experiencing an internal conflict, perhaps feeling one way, but not wanting to express it fully. And then, potential deception, while not always indicative of lying, this behavior can be a hot spot to watch for, says Business Insider, especially when combined with other deceptive cues. So if you go back and look at that same interview again, kind of watch for those head nods. So Deception Detective might unsubscribe from our channel now that I've referenced.
Well, I was going to say, for those of you who haven't been around in a while, Deception Detective was here a couple episodes ago and talked to us in chat. And since then, I think you're just sort of worried he's going to leave you, right?
I am.
I'm just kidding.
But I pulled that up anywhere because what Deception Detective will tell you on this body language stuff is that it's difficult because you can fake
fake body language. Yeah.
You can be aware of the cues you're giving off, and so you can deceive a body language expert if you know what you're doing. But I don't think that's what he's doing in that interview. I think he's so hyper focused on his language. I don't think he was aware of his body language that he was giving away. That's kind of what I think.
Well, and Tennessee Nurse said they never wanted this footage out. I totally believe they didn't want the footage out. I think it created a huge problem for them to have to theorize or come up with a theory as to what it was, but they didn't want it out. And it's my understanding Nick is the one that got the footage. Is that correct?
Nick Barris.
Yes, Nick Barris.
Yes, it was. Thank you. Wow, that's very sweet of you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Now that we are an hour into our live stream,
can you hold on 1 second? Just a girl who loves frogs became, I think she renewed her membership. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. That really does help us out.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate you very much.
Oh, I know. Adorable. She's a very nice person.
Yeah.
And then also Kiki, I believe, renewed her membership or became a new. Kiki was a member.
She was. I think she just renewed.
Thank you so much for your renewal. We appreciate you all so much. It does help us keep going on here, and we do appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you, Kiki.
And I wanted to point out Bentley Revito did say one more thing. If they don't know, then how can he say it has no I'm going to stop reading things tonight. You two read stuff. I can't get words out.
If they don't know, then how can he say it has no evidence of value?
Right.
I think what he's saying, he can't use it in a courtroom.
Maybe.
Real Me Too says bring out the cards.
I think that's what, I think so.
Jenny Machete's here.
But he does say it could come into. He does say it could come into play later. That's his last statement.
So this is a good point too. So other than just kind of stirring up the public with the flashlight video, Tennessee Nurse says it being released also helped those responsible to plan and react accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of lit. Okay, so if you think where the public is frustrated is we're not given information. We really shouldn't have information. We want to know. We all want to help. We all want to. This is such a confusing case. There's so many possibilities with the case. It's become a obsession with everyone that's followed it to try to figure out what in the world happened in this house.
Or not at the house.
Or not at the house at all.
Not at the house.
For the information that we're frustrated with law enforcement for not providing more.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is they shouldn't really give us anything that's of any. They should be holding it all back for court because by this, it being released helps those responsible to plan and react accordingly. Now the suspects, if they're involved in that flashlight video, they know that law enforcement knows that those flashlights went through that yard.
Okay, you and Tennessee Nurse win. I was going to argue with you.
Okay,
well, not argue with you about the video as much as They need to, but they still need to be giving us some type of update. We
Oh,
are still
yeah.
working on it. He is still the top of our list of things that we're working on. Something, anything.
Yes.
Because as a parent, I'm scared to death for my child to go missing in this county.
We had 7 leads come in this month. We followed up on all
Right.
of those. We're
Right.
aware of the
We
sighting
know-
in Virginia.
Well, we
and
know at
whatever.
night still getting leads. We know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And we know that they're still following up on them intently. So why can't they give us a similar update? So
Well, Wow makes a point. It does hurt the case, but the reactions from people may have helped. And there
Right.
are sometimes you can strategically drop some evidence if you're stuck and see what.
Oh,
that happens all the time.
well, and this is a good point too. If it can't be used in court due to the timestamp, unprovable action, etc., but it's helping the case, then there's some sort of foul play. So it helps to show that, it helps to build the case, even if they can't use it as evidence.
Yeah.
Right.
And they might have.
Yeah.
They might have the same thing, just with a different camera angle somewhere too. It's possible that has the correct timestamp.
I
that
wanted
would be usable.
to say Whiskey Yankee Charlie. Thank you for letting us know. That's Rogue. Different
that
account
is Rogue.
on the
Okay.
raw, like on a on a
Okay.
different account.
So whiskey, whatever.
Yes, that's
Charlie.
Rogue.
Okay.
Hi, Rogue.
Oh, hi, Rogue.
I don't know. Rosebud.
Thank you.
Member for
Rosebud.
5 months, all in with this fabulous community. Well, we love having you here. You know that. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah. So right.
Sorry, I'm really behind in
Yeah, I
chat.
know. There's a lot
And
of
Ashley-
comments. I
Ashley
wish I could
says-
highlight everybody.
And I don't think she's being rude, but she says not to be rude, but you should be terrified. You don't know what happened and you don't know if Ellie cares.
Right.
Totally. That's
Right.
we
We have an
absolutely.
autistic child.
Yeah.
And if someone's targeting autistic kids for abduction in our area, we need to know that.
Well, this is
Right.
another point that the person that messaged me about this whole issue that I had
Uh-huh.
not thought of brought up, was that if they believed that this was an abduction by some kind of stranger, law enforcement would have had to have come out and said, hey, keep an eye on your children. Make sure they're home by, in the house, and that, your cameras are working, whatever they kind of public service they would have to do, because it would be a violation of their oaths to not inform the public that there was a predator in the county.
Mhm.
If they believed that,
Right.
they would
Right.
have to come out, but they have said the opposite of that.
Right.
They have actually said that there is no danger to the community. They've told several people about this, that this is believed to be an isolated event and not a predator. So they often tell us,
They tell us
if
without
you
telling
use
us.
deductive logic, they kind of narrow down what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And they've really told us in so many ways that he did not run away, that it's not a stranger, that it's a criminal investigation. It all goes back to the house because of their own language,
Mhm.
I'm stopped. I'm not reading. I'm just going to put stuff up because I can't get words out. So
Okay. Let's see. Did the portion Nick play show the car? The 2 flashlights weren't the most important part of that video, so I really think it was a carefully chosen play on words, because that video contained a lot.
it's a good point.
It did
I don't think
contain-
it contained the
I can't
car.
remember when the car part came along.
I think
who first showed the car? Do you remember who broke the car story?
I'm going to guess Justin or Mob Crew.
I know Betty did a lot with the car.
Could have
as
been Betty
well.
too.
That
Yeah.
showed that
She
car
did a lot
below?
with the car, thinking it was possibly
bet.
the same SUV, but then we got better video and stuff, and more came out.
I will
I
bet
you're right,
you.
it's Justin.
I
bet it was
will
Justin.
bet you money that somebody in chat is going to know.
Bentley says car was Mob Crew. Somebody else is saying it was Silver on the scene.
I don't think it was silver.
Who was I guess what we're asking is, who was the first person to show that car with the security camera where the headlights turn on? Who dropped that?
I think that was Mob Crew.
That was Mob Crew that got that first. Tennessee Nurse is saying BHB.
Butterfly Girl, thank you so
See,
much.
I don't think Mob Crew was on the story yet.
Butterfly Girl, thank you so
Well,
much for
I
being a member for
remember-
9 months.
Yes, thank you, Butterfly Girl.
Thank you.
you.
I
Okay.
remember Betty talking about it because her first.
I remember, yeah, because Betty was putting the overlays and stuff first.
Mhm.
There's like 6 possibilities.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
saying it's between Betty and Mob,
It's Betty,
and then
Justin,
somebody said
Mob Crew,
Justin.
Crime Time Bed Stories.
I actually remember BHB talking about it, but I don't know where the video came from.
Who first showed it? Like who was
I
the
bet.
original?
Well, okay.
I don't know.
I will
Lisa,
call
they
you
always-
out. Became a new member. Welcome. Thank you so much. That helps us a lot, and we appreciate you. And I hope you join us tomorrow.
We might message Betty and ask her if it was
I bet
her.
Real Me 2's already on it.
Yeah.
Ginger for Ob. Love the E family. So good to see you 3. It's so good to see you too. We appreciate you. You guys are
Betty
wearing
showed a
me out.
screen grab, I believe, from Mob he released on members only, and then he started analyzing it on stream, trying to figure out the make and model.
There we go.
I do remember that happening.
Okay.
So maybe it was Mob that showed the car first. Because I remember her trying to do an overlay with his video.
I remember.
Pebble says
Maybe
it was
maybe
Betty,
it was Mob.
Justin, then Mob.
Betty, Justin. Well, anyway, we'll talk
Oh,
to
well,
them
Real Me 2 says it was all 3.
simultaneously.
About the same time.
Oh, maybe they all
Okay.
had it sent to them. That could happen, sure.
That does happen. Where groups of creators will get sent something at the same time. That does happen.
So maybe that's it. Well, anyway, so that's just something I wanted to kind of talk
Oh,
about.
Bed
before.
Crime Stories shared it first, according to Girl Mom.
I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
Well, at any rate.
Well, anyway, so we
Detective Mom wants everyone to know that Layla Santinello's
Oh.
Candlelight Memorial is this Friday at 8:30.
I did not
in
know about that.
Kingsport.
But thank you for letting us know that.
It's going to be at Borden Park, 901 Lamont Street in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, Real Me Too is going to ask.
So
Actually, Hindsight might know. Hindsight knows a lot.
yeah, they might know too.
Mm-hmm.
So we speaking of Hindsight, this is
Sammy
Hindsight's
G says it was
channel.
TikTok and then J for Justice. Okay, sorry, I'll stop saying it.
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to figure it out like this anyway. We'll probably have to talk to the creators themselves.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, gifted 5 more memberships. Oh my goodness.
Wow, we're going to have all kinds of new members tomorrow
Thank
for
you
our
very much.
members only.
That's so exciting. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And like I said, I'm going to play all the member videos at the end so I don't keep interrupting Mr. E. But thank you so much. We appreciate you. And if you did receive a gifted membership from WOW, please tell WOW thank you. That was very generous and very kind.
Yes, thank you so
And it
much.
helps us so
I do
much.
appreciate it.
It really, really does. We love you.
So our bigger topic tonight that we're going to get into is really these 2 people at the Texas Roadhouse.
Hold on one second. Ginger for Ob also gifted 5 memberships. If
Oh,
you
wow.
received,
Thank you, Ginger.
if you received gift, okay, go ahead.
If you receive a gifted membership, please say thank you. And Ginger, thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ginger. We appreciate you and
Was-
we love you too.
Yes, thank you.
It means so much.
Ginger's great to
It's
us.
like
We
a,
appreciate you.
it's like a, what do they call it? Like a membership train. Woo woo.
It is. It has been.
It's a membership train.
we've got a
Everybody get
lot
on
of-
board.
Yeah, I think we've had more gifted memberships tonight than ever.
Well,
Maybe
a
there's
ton.
a lot tonight. So thank you so much for that. So what we're getting into tonight is this Texas Roadhouse. We want to, anytime we have a new theory that's proposed that we haven't really explored, we like to try to just flesh it out, talk it out, see what we think. And so we of course had the Hindsight has been doing some lives with Mama Rissa and BMW, and they've been great. If you're
They have been good, very good.
yeah, so they've done 3 so far lives. The first one is one where they kind of lay out this theory with the yellow jacket person
Mhm.
that was at Texas Roadhouse. The second one was a kind of a debunking episode where they, which was a great idea for a live stream, which we probably should have done one of those ourselves.
Mhm.
About a lot of the kind of troublesome myths about the Sebastian case that are out there and kind of putting those to rest. And then they kind of went back into their theory a little bit and fleshed that out some more on their latest stream. So if you're not already a subscriber of Hindsight 2002, you should be. Can we put it into chat? Do you mind to do that?
I can,
I
absolutely.
think Hindsight's in chat if she wants to tag herself.
Well,
I don't know
she
if they
can't.
They can't do it
Oh,
like that.
they can do that. You
I'll-
can.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how she. I think I have it saved in Nightbot, but I'll double check, and then I'll also put her in the description of this video.
So
Let me see.
we've done this with theories before. We did it with like the theory of Sebastian going to the construction site, walking up that path. We've done this with Mob Crew, with the flashlights and the signal jammers and all those things. Just kind of take someone's theory and see, where the weaker parts of the argument are or not, and if we think that, if these are possible, likely. And so what we actually went to Texas Roadhouse and did some filming to try to show some of these angles that we don't see with the security camera. And we have learned it is so helpful if you can actually be at the location, because there's something about cameras don't always give you the accurate feel for a place, just how big it actually is, or small in some cases, or other little spaces. So we went and did that to try to work through this theory. And then we also, before our son got sick, we had gone to Texas Roadhouse to film the Green Hoodie theory about that path, why Green Hoodie went where they went, the choices they made, the choices they could have made. So we've got all this kind of video that we're planning on going through tonight. So that's kind of the two theories actually we're going to sort of lay out is Yellow Coat or Yellow Raincoat relevant to the Sebastian Rogers case? And then also, is Green Hoodie relevant as well? And I know there's a lot of feelings on Green Hoodie already. Green Hoodie's been talked about for a long time.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff there. And I wanted to say, Back on Track with Kat renewed their membership. Thank you so much. You're on the Crime Dog. I don't know. Crime Dogs would be like if like what do they call it when they pick the dogs up?
Dog catcher.
Yeah. I guess we'll just do train.
Animal control or something like that.
That doesn't sound like much fun. That's not much fun.
So
So we'll just get on the dog train. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. Woo-woo. And then I will call you out, says Sebastian Strong. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that super chat. That means a lot to us, and it does help us keep going. We appreciate it. And later on, I will call you out. I will play a special super chat song just for you. Thank you. Like I said, I keep interrupting him, and I want him to get to it.
Yeah, Rita says, I've been subscribed to Hindsight since she first started. She is invaluable if you are researching the Sebastian Rogers case. She has so many great clips and videos of things that would have easily gotten lost to history,
right,
in this case. And when you go back, if you're looking for those little pieces and you go back, she often has what you're looking for. So it's just a great reference if you plan on staying with this case and want to go back and check on things.
Welcome in to new people. People know us. They're like, oh, they're an hour and a half in. They might be through the introduction.
We might get started on the main, because the other stuff I had planned, I thought was going to be like 10 minutes.
Right.
And now we're an hour and a half.
Yeah. That's like our, we tried to do our weekly Crimecast, like kind of like updates on cases. And we were like, hour and a half tops. I think we did 4.5 hours or something crazy.
Like 10 crimes. And I thought we were going to get through it in an hour. And it was like, it was like one of our longest streams ever. And we didn't even finish the Tyler Perry stuff. So
yeah,
man. And I read through the rest of that. Whoa.
I
know. It's good. It's a good one.
It is. Wow.
It's a good one to read for sure.
So I'm just going to let Hindsight and the gang kind of lay out their theory themselves. So this
Sped teacher.
This part of this is from their first live stream. I mean, they kind of say it better than I can. So I'm just going to play a little bit of this let's just see what they're getting at. And although they don't really say it in this live, this person in the pink sweatshirt or sweater, they later will say that they believe she may be relevant as well. So here's the part. So Yellow Coat, as you see, has already left and gone into the kind of waiting area, and just now Katie is leaving. And the timestamps on this are what's important. So we're at 18:23:20, right?
40, 20.
So that what they're saying here is Yellow Coat was in that little waiting area for a full 1 minute and 44 seconds, right? So there's a little more we're going to do in a bit, but that is essentially the big issue here. And so let's see. I've kind of been away from the chat. It is so Bless Mom asked, what is that window? That is like the if you're the Uber Eats kind of person, that's where you would go to pick up food, or they would bring food out to your car if you're parked in like a to-go pickup, because you'll see the guy out there with the long hair and the ball cap, the kind of thin kid. He's running food down there. So in the direction of the security camera, if you kept walking, that's where the to-go orders are parked, like in that direction. So, people had said, well, this is an Uber Eats guy or a DoorDash guy or something along those lines. And I think that's kind of what we all sort of assumed, something along those lines, right? Where they kind of are wondering, though, is that this phone he's holding, it's a rose-colored phone. So at least it appears to be on this video, which would be sort of unusual for a man to have a rose-colored phone.
I agree with that.
It looks like it. I think you had the exact same phone at one point, the same color, and not one I would pick out for myself. But who knows? Maybe he got a deal or something, or borrowed his wife's phone, or who knows? Or maybe he just likes the rose-colored. He also, one thing that Mama Rissa points out in their live stream is that he's driving a 2024 Wagoneer, which would be about an $80-ish or so $1,000 vehicle.
Yes.
And how many DoorDash Uber Eats drivers do you know driving $80,000 trucks to run food? That's a lot of miles. That's a little strange.
The big thing is he doesn't leave with food. So he's not an Uber Eats driver if he doesn't leave with food.
There's that.
There's that.
We never
we never see the food.
See him leave with food. He talks to the the people
A lot.
at the window. He talks to the young man. But of course, we have no idea what he's saying. There's also the issue that he's wearing the mask in 2024. You still see masks occasionally.
But
But I
in,
mean-
in this part of the country, you don't see them
I
much.
saw one today, but they are so rare that it's unusual now to see them.
Mhm.
It's maybe 1% or less of the population in Sumner County that I ever see wearing a mask.
And a raincoat on a warm day in February.
Yeah, or a
Oh.
raincoat.
Bentley had he said, now here's a weird thought. Did we see Katie pay for the order?
That's one where you pay at your table.
You can pay
I
on
don't
those.
know.
You can pay on the little monitors, but we didn't see her messing with it. We've paid at our table at the little monitor. You know, you swipe your card
That's
there
an
and everything.
interesting thought.
But I never saw her.
Someone says that he later leaves with food. I don't remember seeing
I've
him.
never
leave with
seen
food.
him actually leave with a bag.
No, he walks
No.
out of this frame. The young man he's talking to eventually walks his direction with a bag, but there's no way to know if he's going to him or one of the to-go orders
Which
that are parked down.
you guys are going to see here in a few minutes because we went
Um,
and recorded all this because we wanted to get a better idea. Real quick, I want to say hi to Kelsey. She says, "Woo, love you guys. Member for 8 months. Thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. We appreciate you, and thank you for being a moderator. We appreciate you
Well, I've
for that
yes,
too.
thank you so much, Kelsey. Was that 8 months for Kelsey too?
8
Wow,
months.
man.
I didn't realize we've been blessed by Kelsey that long.
And that's another thing, the cost of the coat. Some people are saying it was a certain type of coat that was approximately $800.
Oh, is it a Burberry?
No, it wasn't Burberry. They said it was a North Face layered coat. It's more than just a raincoat, and they're very expensive.
Okay, devil's advocate. Could this guy be an Uber Eats driver because he needs to pay for his habits of spending?
Pay for his vehicle because he's overextended on the
Y'all,
car payment.
I've got one
I mean,
gnat in here and it's driving me crazy.
It's weird. It's all a little weird. It's not impossible. It doesn't mean but those are some strange, I think, details. I know that
Yes.
I can't remember which one of the three hosts said.
That's a good point too,
yeah.
BMW.
I mean, Mrs. E and I live here, and so we remember that night. It was unusually warm that evening
Because I love unusually warm winter.
because we were
nights.
sitting on the
Winter.
back porch that night. It's like, man, it feels great out here.
Mhm.
It was like that kind of night in February because we'd had some really cold weeks leading up to that week. And so, this guy all layered up here in his jacket.
Mhm.
Sebastian's walking out there in short sleeves, and he's a tiny little guy.
Mhm.
And I think Seth has told us that he's the kind of kid that gets cold easy, right?
Mhm.
So, he's in short sleeves, and this guy's in his jacket. Now,
It
one
is
thing,
weird.
yeah, it's just something to consider. On his phone, I think hindsight and the host, they felt like maybe they could see pictures of Sebastian on the phone. We tried zooming in. It's hard. You can see that and we did it frame by frame.
Mhm.
You can see there's people. He's scrolling through a bunch of people on his phone. It's just hard to know who.
We tried to zoom in and look, and
the more you zoom in, the more pixelated
He's
it
definitely
gets.
looking at pictures, it looks like.
for sure.
Definitely. He's definitely looking at pictures of people. If it's Sebastian or other people on his phone, I don't know.
Oh, Bentley said, "That's what I'm saying. Did we see her pay, or could this be a suspicious person be paying? I don't know. That's interesting.
Paying for her meal.
I don't know. That's interesting, though.
They have like the little machines at your table where you pay there, but you don't have to.
Because full disclosure, we went and ate there yesterday
We did. Yeah.
because we
Was
wanted.
it good?
It was. We had never been there.
We'd never been there before, and we'd been talking about it for a year, and we were going to record anyway, so we decided to go and sit down and eat just so we could kind of get a lay of the land a little bit better.
It was very helpful to
Yes.
actually understand the terrain. So we help me remember, because we had several takeaways. Help me remember what these are. One thing we thought, it's really loud in Texas
It
Roadhouse.
is a loud place.
I mean, it's like they actually still sing like Happy Birthday. They do like a big dance number at one point with the waitresses and stuff. Like it's a noisy restaurant. And so if
Well, we had our special needs son with us, and he was very stimulated by that.
he was very stimulated, yes.
Mhm.
And so, there's that, with Sebastian. Where we could see where Katie would have been seated with Sebastian. And one thing that, with her looking around, she would not have been able to scope out this parking lot where she was seated.
Mhm.
Like you wouldn't have had an angle of the cars out here or Green Hoodie or Yellow Jacket. None of that. You wouldn't have had a view of any of that where she was. Another thing that was kind of weird to me is she did have her back to the door. So if she was expecting something in the restaurant, she was at a really bad angle to notice anyone coming in.
Mhm.
So my thinking is she wasn't expecting any kind of visitor while in the restaurant. That she,
Not that we could tell.
because if it were me and I were expecting somebody and like a handoff or a signal or whatever, I would have sat where Sebastian was sitting, where I could face the door,
Mhm.
noticing Yellow Coat or Green Hoodie
So
coming
you're
in. Or
saying there
anybody.
wasn't a camera at the entrance that you could tell?
Camera at the entrance.
What April said, was there a camera in the entrance of Texas Roadhouse that hasn't been shared?
Oh,
Hmm.
we could see the camera that was you.
I have some footage, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I saw 2 cameras inside Texas Roadhouse,
What was
but
the other one you saw?
it was behind you, further back.
Oh, so like
Like
toward the hostess
Mm,
direction.
towards the hostess stand, all the way to the right in the corner. It would have gotten the back of Katie's head.
Gotcha. So I guess they have another angle there.
Oh, Romy 2 says there is a camera when you walk in.
Yeah, that's probably the one you're talking about.
Mm-mm.
No.
No,
Okay.
that's not the one.
We haven't seen anything from that camera, have we?
No.
I didn't think
No.
so.
Okay.
They might have it, but we haven't seen it.
And we have a super chat with a question.
Nania New York Business. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, been a long while. Crime Time Buzz is focusing on another person crouching in front of GH between the cars. Dog had put a repost of GH video with arrows pointing at the area asking, what do you see? We went back and looked at the video because we saw that too. And so we went back and watched it. And I think what it is, I can see why they think it's a face moving forward. I think it's the side view mirror to Katie's door opening.
We're not 100% though.
No, not 100%, but that's what it appears. It appears to me that when that door opens, that side view mirror moves past the car a bit. And I think that's what they're thinking is a face. And it's the reflection and the way it looks and, everything when you zoom in starts to get all pixelated, but I don't think there's anyone crouching there. I'm also not great with the, when people have the videos where things are really tough to see,
You know how I am.
where that's not my strength, but I think if I had to say, I would think that's a side view mirror to her car. Plus when the car backs out and leaves, there's nobody there. So that crouching person would have had to have stayed crouched and slid back behind the car adjacent to it with Green Hoodie and Katie all in that little tiny narrow space, which is really small.
Because when she pulls out, you don't see anybody there.
We're going to show that space here in a little while too. And you're going to see how hard it would be to fit one person really in there, much less 3 or 4. It's a really narrow space, which makes Green Hoodie even more suspicious to me.
Hold on. Okay.
And then Joel said, couldn't she see the bathroom?
Yes,
she could see the bathroom for sure. Yeah. Another thing I thought about when we were there in person, that restaurant's much bigger than it appears on this video. And it was packed on a Monday night. It was just super busy.
I'm sure a Sunday night would be busy as well.
Yeah. I mean, they were really busy. I could not believe I've worked in restaurants in my younger days, and Monday night's kind of like your dead night. But they were hopping on a Monday night in the middle of summer. I mean, that's just.
And thank you for your super chats, guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
So, do you want to let's show your footage that you did of of the possible paths for Yellow Coat,
Okay.
and we'll show
Which,
that waiting area.
Okay. Okay. I have. You want it? Which one? Okay. Wait. Okay. I have inside Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, let's do those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to share those. I'm not going to share that.
Well,
Right.
actually, hold on one second. I did it wrong. Hold
Okay.
on one second. I have it.
Is our food coming, Mom?
All right.
We heard nothing, and it was frozen.
For how long?
For the whole time.
Like the last hour or so?
The last, I mean, pretty much the whole Texas Roadhouse video. I kept saying it's frozen. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. And we couldn't hear. I saw Mrs. E talking, but we didn't hear anything she said.
Nothing with this part?
No, we saw just that one. It froze right there, and it stayed frozen on that. Then it switched to like the waiting area for a second, and then it came back to this. Then it went back to the waiting area, and then it showed the car.
But you couldn't hear us speak during that
You
part.
couldn't hear anything.
Okay, well we'll just go back over that. So this is from where we were
The
seated.
view from our table.
Yeah, view from our table in the bar area. So to the right of this picture, you would have had Katie and Sebastian. Straight ahead, this is where Green Hoodie and Yellow Coat all would have come in going toward the restroom. They would have to have walked right past our table here.
Mhm.
To the left of that person in the blue shirt, that's kind of where the hostess stand is, and you can see the entrance behind that. Underneath that,
No, where the
deer.
black shirt person is where the hostess stand is.
And
Oh, okay.
Granny
Is that
is
far up?
telling you
Okay, I guess
it's
it is.
frozen.
Still
Granny
frozen?
chimed
Oh.
in.
Okay. This would be our mother. And I have to point that out. And I'm so proud of her for chatting.
we
Thank you,
still-
Mama.
Are we still?
No,
muted?
you're not now.
Okay. It's unfrozen now. they
Okay,
say.
perfect.
Yeah. So if you want to go to basically this is the way that you can see how much bigger the restaurant is than the security video.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go to the next picture.
All right. I'm going to play it. This is how loud it is.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay.
And this is a frozen picture because she was trying not to
Yes.
get faces. And
I was
stuff.
trying not to get faces. So what happened, and I already explained this, so I'll explain it again since we're not muted anymore, is that my son who has autism, Big E, was well, I was trying to record all the way out and he kept getting in front of my camera, and Mr. E, I believe, was in the restroom. And so I just gave up and didn't put it on here. So, because he kept getting in the footage and I didn't want to do that. So, this is as you're walking out right past the hostess stand to your left, there's a waiting room.
Like a full room.
A full room.
So if Yellow Coat were waiting, that might be a spot he was waiting. If
Right.
there was some kind of handoff, that would seem like a logical place.
Right. Okay. And then this is the next part is right across from that. There's another small waiting area. Once you go through the first set of doors, there's a small waiting area. Looks like, I mean, it's small. I would say maybe 10 people could be in there comfortably and still have a walkway.
But he could have been standing right there waiting.
Yeah, could have been.
Yeah.
And then this is the main door. And yes, that's Big E's hand. That's all I could get of that video. And then this is, you take over.
Yeah. So to where that gray car is located, that's where Katie would have been parked right there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it kind of gives you an idea of, it's something I always kind of think about is Katie being in security and would be more aware of cameras and security locations than your typical person.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's just what you would notice. So if there were some handoff, I would guess she would know or understand where those blind spots might be.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she works in that field.
Okay.
So,
and we have better footage than this, guys. This was just the beginning. So that's basically just to kind of give you some, I don't know, just kind of a better visual
Point of reference.
Yeah. So next time we go, though, I will make sure that my kids are not in front of the camera so I can record.
So
do you want to go to the next part?
Yeah, I just want to kind of set up where you meant on the video. Well, I don't even know what the next video is. What was the next part? Oh, the drive.
Well, no, we've got the Green Hoodie stuff, but it also shows where those parking spots are.
Well, what I kind of wanted to do was finish Yellow Jacket and then go Green Hoodie.
Okay.
And kind of talk about
Compare.
both that way. So basically where we're at with this is if this phone,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've all seen her taking pictures at the table. It looks very strange. And it looks like she's trying to do it in a discreet way.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen that picture and we don't know. We know what they say is the reason because he ate something with dressing or whatever she claims. But why the discreet way? It seems odd. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if she were taking that picture for a reason to leave on the phone, or maybe, I don't know, there could be a lot of reasons. Either way, she might need to switch or give a different phone to this person that might have information on it or whatever.
Right.
Whatever this, you would have to be thinking this is an orchestrated disappearance of Sebastian.
Right.
With some, bad actors, basically, who may have various levels of understanding of what's happening.
Right.
We don't, that something like that.
Just can I say something real quick, just so everybody knows? I feel so disappointed by my video footage inside. I wanted to tell everybody that we do coming up have a lot more footage of the Texas Roadhouse area on the outside.
Oh yeah.
And then we also did, and Mama Rissa and Hindsight and BMW especially will be interested in our path to the BP. We went to the BP.
We're going to do that. That's what I wanted
coming
to do
up
next. So yes, I'm going to get into, so that's where we're at. So what they were theorizing is, could it be that Sebastian never made it home? And if he didn't, one of the logical drop-off points could be the BP gas station that is on the way. So there, and one possible tip that supports that theory was on a Facebook post. And in this portion, it reads, on February 25th, 2024, a vehicle matching the description of Katie Proudfoot's car was observed at the BP gas station located at 593 New Shackle Island Road. While there, another vehicle, believed to be a dark-colored midsize SUV, parked beside her. The occupants of the two vehicles were seen communicating. Now we know that there are people that for whatever reasons they have put out bad information on posts like these. So it could be just a hoax.
Yes,
Of course,
Kennedy.
a lot of these things are hoaxes. But it is sometimes these things are not. And if you're an investigator, you've got to follow 100 tips,
Right.
because the one might be accurate.
Okay. And
So-
Lady for Justice, to not be confusing, says, was it proven at the BP station CCTV? Not that I'm aware of. We're working on hindsight, Mama Rissa and BMW Coop's theory.
Right. And so
Right
what they theorize is that I might just play that part here, but they theorize that that they leave at 6:37, and how long does it take to get to the BP gas station?
Oh, wait. Hun,
Oh, it's not showing what? The
you're not,
video's
their
on there at
video
all?
is not showing.
Oh,
So
it's not.
I'll add
Okay.
it to the stage.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. So this is the Facebook post that was put on one of the Sebastian Rogers prayer groups. Okay. So the idea being they leave at 6:37. Do they have time to get to the BP gas station and then be home before Sebastian or Katie take out the trash that night? So what we did is we just tested the drive.
Right. And hindsight says, unfortunately, not that we are aware of has the footage been requested, though we hope it was at the time it was posted. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, you took everything off there. Okay.
I took that down because you've got the video of the
Okay.
drive.
Okay. I'm going to add that to the stage. Okay. So tell them exactly what we did. Set it up.
So we're here in the direction, like we're leaving. We're going to go Katie's path that she would take if she were going to that.
And that's the
BP.
pickup window, right, where Yellow Hoodie
Yeah.
was standing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. So where Katie would have been
I
parked.
mean,
is the
Yellow
white,
Coat, not Hoodie.
Yeah. The white van is parked where Katie was parked.
Yes.
So
And that's
we
the
ran a
pickup window
timer.
and door.
We ran a timer. And so you got to keep in mind, I'm probably a slower driver than Katie. And I caught every red light imaginable.
Most
But,
definitely.
but what he did is he started a timer when we left there to see how long it would take for us to get to the BP. And if you've been following our channel for a while, we have done all of the drives, from Texas Roadhouse to the PF's neighborhood. We went all the directions.
Yeah. We tried to show
I'll-
different escape ways they might have gone,
Right.
different routes they could have tried to avoid camera. So we've done things like this before, but not this specifically. So we just wanted to kind of see what it would be like if that were the meeting point, and if there's good, like what the timing would be like, what the hiding spots would be like,
Right.
if it makes sense, and if
Aw.
the timing works.
And
Go ahead
Mama,
and hit play because
real
it'll
quick,
take 7 or so.
Mama
minutes.
Rissa says this is appreciated so much. And Mama
Oh, thank you.
Rissa, hindsight, BMW, you were always more than welcome to use any of the stuff that you need.
If it's
So,
helpful to
if
you
it's
guys,
helpful at
absolutely,
all.
absolutely anything you want to use that way.
Yeah.
Let's hit play and we'll talk during the drive.
Okay. Because yeah. Okay.
And if there's anything to point out, of course,
And Bentley, I believe they have done routes from their house to Worsham's.
back there, there's a Jonathan's restaurant, and behind that is a Fairfield Inn. And then to the left is a
wait.
Sam's Club.
Real quick. Bentley says you should do the route from the PF house to Worsham storage unit. We have. We did it.
I just read that and said that.
Oh, sorry.
And I said,
I don't listen to you guys. I'm in my own world.
you
So-
are.
Okay.
Uh,
And if you need the original footage, BMW and hindsight and Mama Rissa, You just let me know and I'll send it to you.
Just let it play from here.
I'm gonna let it play. Sorry.
Because we got a little drive to take.
Yeah, we
So
do. And we were
gotta-
at this red light a long time, and it didn't occur to me to point it straight. I pointed it right at the other
Well,
car.
over in this area, that's where the whole Bullhorn Betty thing happened.
Yeah.
This would be actually where the Terry Bowersox thing happened.
Right here, yeah. But it didn't occur to me to point it towards the red light. I just pointed it towards this car next to me, and I
But,
apologize.
You know, it does kind of give you an idea of one of the things that you can't, it's almost hard to grasp unless you're there, is how out of the way Texas Roadhouse is. Like it's not a through. You wouldn't go through there for anything. It's a destination because it's in the corner of the lot. And
Okay, I'm sorry, lady. I wasn't thinking about pointing it towards the red light at this point.
I wonder if she's like,
I
"Why is
can't
this
see
lady
her well
pointing me?"
enough.
Well, I just felt it didn't even occur to me. I don't even know. I had it out the window, and I just didn't even.
She's like, "Why
And
is this lady got her-"
Shirley C. Yeah, it was Nick Barris that was the first person with the footage of the flashlight videos. It
And
was
Nicey
him.
Marie, I'm sorry you got a bra commercial. Sorry.
Could have been worse. There are worse commercials you could
Yeah,
get.
there are some bad ones on YouTube.
Yes, this is yeah.
Yes, that's the intersection.
Sorry about that. This
Yeah,
lady's
so-
like, why do you have your why do you have your camera?
She's like putting her hand up, like, "Don't get me with your camera."
She's like, why is
That's
this?
hilarious.
Why does this person have a camera out the window?
I know. So, yeah,
I wasn't thinking.
if anything, you could subtract probably a minute off this time because I really do get super unlucky with the red lights. Because I hit this one as soon as it was changing.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's another point. So there's a lot of points that the Voices of Truth crew has made. One is that let's say you're going with the theory that Sebastian did not take out the trash. When the Proudfoot oversell something, it's usually a lie,
And I'm
right?
sorry
And
about
so-
that. Now I
Yay! Now we can see forward.
Yeah, so now we're heading toward kind of toward Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, kind of like the main bypass through there. But we're guessing and assuming that she would take the faster backroads way to avoid red lights.
Hi, Kelly.
In news interviews, wasn't it put out from Ellie to them that all time was accounted for on the trip home?
Well, that's what she says,
But that's the thing. We've always
but I don't
almost
know.
everything we believe we know about the case comes from Chris and Katie,
Yes.
which can't be. They've been caught in a variety of lies. So anyway, so they if he did not take out the trash, it could. What the point they make is it could have been Katie. She's wearing a dark colored hoodie,
And
that
she has on
night.
dark clothes at Texas Roadhouse.
and it was not cold. There's
No.
and Sebastian didn't look like he was shivering
Okay.
or anything like that.
Did you tell him
either.
which way we chose to go?
We took what we think a local would do,
Right.
that they would take this road to avoid all the red lights.
And wow,
'Cause that-
gifted more memberships. Thank you so much. Wow. That
Thank
is
you.
awesome. If you got a membership from WOW, please tell WOW thank you. And thank you for staying aboard the choo choo train. Woo woo. You just got a VIP seat. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it so much.
So if it's Katie in the dark hoodie taking out the trash, then it's theoretically possible he never made it home. Because we don't have, and it's really of his time at home, it's the only thing they really talk about a lot is him taking out the trash.
Right. Everything else is just kind of glazed over.
Yeah, but they
Mhm.
hammer that point home
Mhm.
over and over, like they
Yeah, the
really want you
story-
to believe it.
The story has a lot of gaps.
And thank you very much. Wow, you're awesome.
And
We appreciate
Country
it.
Guy said, "Does this mirror the storyline time of day?" No, it does not.
No. So this is what time of day did we do this?
Oh gosh, no. We did this in the morning.
Well, not in the morning. You wouldn't have eaten at Texas Roadhouse in the morning.
Well, we went in the morning, went to Sam's shopping, and then went back later that night.
And
Gotcha.
we've drove this before, actually, straight to their house just to test that timing. And we
Mhm.
did the bypass like a year ago. We did this. And when we went through here, I remember we were like, there's not really a place to pull off here to meet somebody where you're not like getting caught on somebody's house cam, making somebody's dogs bark.
Mhm.
There's not a great place for that down here
Mhm.
without entering a neighborhood. And
It looks like you're flying this time. Look at it. Sorry. Bentley says, I have a theory, Mr. E. I'm going to write it up with a specific route. I want to see something. I will somehow get it to you and try and get it
Okay.
to you
Try
to
it
try out. We would be happy to. I will put our email in chat and you can email us.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, you see how there's nowhere to pull off here, because we were thinking, what if there was a car waiting? He hops out, they're gone, but there's not a great place for that. And
I guess one thing though that and this is a point Marilyn makes, his shoes being at home makes me think he made it home.
Right. It does
Or
come back
did
to
it-
the shoes.
You know, the shoes, it comes back to the shoes. Were the shoes that he had on at Texas Roadhouse at his house?
I think the theory is that if he didn't make it home, then that flashlight video is about bringing his clothes back,
Right.
like forgetting that detail. Oh, we had to get him in new clothes. We got to get his shoes and everything back to the house. Right?
Yeah. Bentley says also
Because-
the shoes he has on the video footage look brand new. They do.
So you can see over here behind
Right.
these little trees to the left, that's the BP gas station. You could go straight and enter, or you could have gone left and then made a right in to enter. We chose to go this way because I think if you're doing something incognito, you're probably driving to the back of the gas station like this. And then there's a little car wash thing over to the right also. And there are cameras everywhere.
I don't want to block anything by putting up a thing right now, but where is Roxy? Roxy, I don't believe the audio either. Okay, so there's the time. It took us 7 minutes and 37 seconds.
Yeah.
And
I think
Roughly.
It could have been like a 30 seconds to a minute, maybe difference because of the red light.
yeah,
Right.
if she didn't catch that first red light, I think she could be there in 6:30
Right.
easily.
And
And we caught every red light.
right. And this was a busier time than a Sunday evening would be, probably.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Roxy R says, I don't believe the audio either. Sorry, I have to pull this down in order. Well, I'll do it in a second. Recorded. I think it was recorded before that night of Katie and Sebastian, in my opinion. I have speculated that myself.
Did you
Let's
see
see.
Kim? Did you see Kim V? She asked you a question. Have y'all ever tried going on through Goshen Town and over to Center Point to get to their home? That's the best way to avoid most cameras.
Where's
We went to Center Point leaving their home
right?
because we did a theory once where what if they went down to Rockland Park, because there were some searches that went down there.
Right.
And there's access to the water. And so we were kind of playing with the idea of, because I think a dog hit her on something down there once, right? Down in that Rockland Park area. Anyway,
It's been so long.
We were testing to see how many, and there weren't a lot of traffic cams, but you would eventually hit a couple.
Mhm.
And there was one we weren't even aware that was there until after we did the video.
You know what's funny is that a lot of people probably joined us after we already did all of those
Yeah, I
videos. So
know.
maybe we should
Right.
have a revisiting all of our footage, because Kim V says, I think the 3 a.m. car left out of the neighborhood and went to Happy Hollow Road. Well, we did a whole Happy Hollow Road
We
video.
did. Yeah, and we could do that again and show.
And we did the Warshams, the path to get to Warshams.
Through the high school. You went through the
Uh-huh.
high school.
Yeah, we did up to the construction area. So we did a lot of stuff like that in the early days, kind of testing out different paths. Because we thought if you left the house, Happy Hollow made the most sense to stay out of the view of cameras, because those houses are so far off the road
Mm-hmm.
that you wouldn't get picked up by any door cams or anything really.
And Auntie and Granny and I went out there looking one time too.
Yeah.
So.
We were at some
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
old roads.
we could pull those up sometime if we want.
Yeah, we'll do that another
Yeah.
day. But
Yeah. we
if
could
you
do-
guys want to, Put
I
a
mean,
one in chat if you'd like
there's
us
so
to kind
many-
of revisit those old videos.
So anyway, this looked like about a 7-ish minute drive here, and it is on the way home. I mean, she
Mhm.
could have pulled in here for a minute, 2, 3, 4 minutes, really, and still been home before 7 o'clock. So that part of the theory works.
Okay.
And I had another part of their video. I didn't realize I was going to. Can I?
What? I can hit play on it. There's a little bit more left, I think,
Oh, if you want to play the end of that, that's fine.
because we just drove around the
And then
parking
I want to
lot.
pull up a different video.
Well, there's our tag. Let's see. We just drove around the parking lot to see where people could sit and stuff.
Yeah. Like, it's a pretty big gas station, but they did have a ton of cameras. I don't think you could be in this gas station and not get picked up.
Right.
So anything going
Oh,
on
I'm
here,
sure they have cameras for all areas of the gas
yeah,
station.
they had tons of them.
Yeah,
They were all around.
I don't think there's I don't think
you can
could-
see them as you're driving by. See them.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
We could go back over there if you guys want us to look. We can go take video of those. It wouldn't be a big deal.
Right. We drove around to the back because I was just thinking if I were going to do something discreet, I would have parked back here. And you might have at least not have, prying eyes.
Yeah, but I disagreed. I said, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be sitting back there. It's too weird. It's too hard to get
You'd
through.
look suspicious.
Yeah.
But of course, you're not. I mean, you're just having a kid maybe get out of your car into another car.
Yeah.
So you're
I'm
not
going to
doing
pull that
anything-
down for a second. L. Kennedy says, why do you think at night has gone quiet? Usually when at night is quiet, they are working on something. So I would say they'll pop back up.
They are still doing their thing from what we understand.
Girl mom, was that car wash there February 24th?
Well, you know what I always thought about at
Or
night
February
anyway.
and 24? I don't know. It looks like a fairly new car
That
wash.
part I'm not sure.
We can look into that though.
But with the at night thing, they told us at the very beginning when they came in that they do an operation, then they assess the operation, then they do something new.
Right.
And so, when they got really loud was around the time that private investigator was getting really loud.
Mhm.
And I think there was a lot of combating of narratives and that kind of thing going on. And now that that's sort of over, they've gotten kind of quiet publicly. But no, everything we understand, they're still working.
April says, was there ever any proof they actually got home or just going by her word? It's my understanding that the neighbor picked them up coming home, right? On their footage.
I think so.
Because wasn't there the story that she usually pulls into the driveway? Sebastian
Yes.
typically hops out, runs to the front door, doesn't like the garage for whatever reason.
Doesn't like to go. Yeah. Doesn't like the garage coming up, that he'll sometimes go to kind of get away from it and then go into the garage after.
But that night,
But he usually jumps out at the edge of the driveway is what our understanding was.
But
Yes.
that particular night, she went straight into the garage and he didn't get out.
Correct.
So, is that any disruption in a typical pattern should catch your attention? If that's true, if he always hops out before, if that is his daily pattern, and that's the one time they went straight into the garage, that would be a massive red flag.
Jen in Georgia,
Hey, Jen.
GA1, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Thank you for getting on our membership train tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We appreciate all you guys so much. Thank you.
I don't know the answer to this question. You guys might. Locked and Loaded said, I have a question. Is the attorney that was spotted at the restaurant the same attorney that Seth had that wrap on truck for?
I don't know of any attorneys that were spotted at any restaurants. You mean at Texas Roadhouse?
I don't know anything about that.
I don't
know that.
I don't know.
I'm not able to share video now for some reason.
Are you trying to share the other one?
I'm trying to share this, and
Look,
it's saying
let me see.
set.
There may be too many.
It's saying Google
You're not
Chrome.
on StreamYard.
Here's StreamYard.
Okay.
It says Google Chrome isn't your default browser.
Oh, okay. All right, Auntie, talk to chat for a second. Let me help him.
Sorry.
All right. Yes, Kelly, they did at night put out an alert a couple days ago for border towns to be on the lookout. I did see that.
Yeah, they
So
did.
I feel like they're constantly tracking down leads. So that might be from a lead
No,
that they've
that's not-
received.
That's not important.
I want to do this.
Okay, so you present, share your screen.
Because you had put something up.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just switch between.
So which one are
That's
you
right.
trying to do?
The top one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sierra
Thank
said,
you.
I totally just
And then
thought
go
about
back.
I should've-
drugging and have been
go
following
back
this
to
from the
there.
beginning. Yeah,
And-
I think that we thought possibly that was a theory, but I think our minds have kind of started to change a little bit. And Bentley said, red flag, he didn't jump out like normal, and the 1 cent was in the garage that disappeared. That's interesting.
L. Kennedy, I love how Mr. E looks at Mrs. E when he's talking. What a sweetheart.
Aw.
Well, thank you, L. Kennedy, but it drives me nuts. I wish you'd look at the screen. So I moved away so he would stop looking, and it's even worse.
It's worse.
So, but no, I actually moved away so that I could actually make eye contact with him, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when I am not looking at him, or I'm looking at chat and stuff, I completely do not hear anything else that's going on. So I thought it would be better for me to look at him and be engaged.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to move again so that he will look toward the camera. I'm just going to keep moving around the dining room table until I can get him to look at the camera.
All right.
So
All right.
I'm also going to try to get him to get rid of those glasses, because he's very handsome and he covers them up with the glasses.
Well, you
So-
can't see.
Yeah, take your glasses off for a minute.
No,
handsome.
I'm leaving. I'm like Clark Kent. This way I can stay anonymous.
Yeah, right.
Nobody will ever recognize me. So we are.
So somebody
I forgot there
said
was.
that there another creator mentioned there was an attorney from New York at Texas Roadhouse. So
I don't know about that.
no, we don't know anything about that.
The first I've heard that, so I don't know who that is. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have tried to identify a lot of these folks, but I have not heard about the attorney. You can say the name of the creator if you like. I mean, we're not offended by
Somebody said Lolly.
that.
Real Me Too says, I would recognize you with my eyes closed.
So we'll do this. I forgot I wanted to play this. I think this actually explains the hoodie part of their theory. I didn't realize I had saved this little part to do, but like I said, they express it better than I can.
Can you make it big?
It's like yeah.
Is the audio not playing?
I don't know. I think there is no audio right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is basically what we were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that there could be changes made to the data on their phone.
Right, with the Life 360, right? The
Yeah.
upgraded. I'm glad that she said that too, because now I'm going to have to pay attention further to the kids' phones.
So yeah, I forgot that I had saved that to play, because that explained what they were saying.
Mhm.
So that is.
Will you read it for people who can't see the tiny?
Yeah, I'll go back a little bit.
That would be good.
So they say, why was there such great emphasis placed on Sebastian took out the trash? Was it allegedly to push the narrative that he did come home from TRH? Our belief is that he did not go home. Times, dates, and locations can easily be changed on data. Illusions can be created to turn any alleged fact into fiction. So that's basically the part of the theory that I kind of wanted to get through was this. So what do we think? I guess is where we're at. Do we see how much of do you think? I think the most interesting parts of the theory having some possibility are that he stands in that area for 1:44.
That's really weird. That's strange.
The truck, the clothing, the rose-colored phone, all kind of weird.
Well, if I could see the whole video and see if he actually takes food and leaves with food, that to me, if there's no food, that's a big red flag.
I have dog's video up. I can get to that, but I was going to do that anyway later when we get into Green Hoodie too.
Okay. Okay.
And then we can just play that whole part and get to where we need to go.
But I think that in itself, why would someone in an expensive car with an expensive coat be picking up Uber driver food and then not pick up the food?
Well, here's something Sassy T says. I think the TRH video is of great evidentiary value.
Right. I do too.
Craddock never said that wasn't of value, did he?
No, he never did.
So,
They never came out and said that, did they?
The only thing they said is that they ran down the Green Hoodie person and talked to them, and they were not involved.
And
well, so Starflower asks, and thank you for the super chat, but why did Sebastian cooperate?
Did he? How do we know?
I mean, there are theories you could create where you could convince Sebastian. We don't know Sebastian's personality.
No, we just know.
They don't know what they could have promised him.
We don't know what he was promised, and we don't know what kind of situation he was in. We know the CPS came out 5 times, so his home life wasn't great. Maybe he was promised something better.
We don't know.
I mean,
we just don't know.
If Chris is a monster,
we don't know that.
We don't know that, but we know CPS was out there 5 times, and they don't,
for a reason,
for some reason. And Chris says 3 times, Seth says 5. But Seth's number never changed.
One's too many.
Well, and we also know that he was not in the home, and we speculate that it was probably because of the CPS report. That's very good. That's a very good deduction based on knowing they'd been out there that many times. It's right. That's very likely that they asked him to leave the home until the investigation was complete.
So they need to get him out of the home. I mean, the theory sort of works, but you have to get Sebastian on board, and who knows what he was promised.
Do you?
Well,
do you?
If you don't have,
no, you don't have to.
Look, you don't have to. Look back at the day. Look back at the day. Look at the day, all these things that they did. And then this was like, okay, I'll take you here and we'll do this and we'll do all your favorite things. And then tonight we're going to Texas Roadhouse, and then you're going to go with so-and-so and he's going to keep you blah, blah, blah. You just don't know that all of that wasn't leading into getting him.
You're going to get out of the house. You're going to be up in wherever, Canada, Mexico, whatever. You're going to have all the video games you want. You're going to be out of this house where you've been with Chris, who he can't like very much, right?
Don't know.
5 CPS reports. I doubt it.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, you're probably
he's a teenager that's been whipped with a belt.
Right.
Right.
I'm going to guess that it would not be that hard to come up with a situation that sounded better than that. Some distant cousin he likes, some friend of the family.
Yeah.
Some promised vacation, all the video games you want, whatever. That you could make a deal with a 15-year-old, maybe. So
I think what Bentley said,
we'll have you a private. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Obviously, maybe.
He in the restaurant, he did shake his head a lot. Like he said, he shook his head multiple times. No, you could tell he was a little agitated while he was eating. Maybe that's when she was telling him what was going to happen.
Can I say something as a mom watching that video? And if I knew my kid was going away for a really long time, as a mom watching that video and watching them interact, I don't know. I would have been way more attentive. Me personally,
having as many conversations in that last hour together as you could, right?
Absolutely.
Not just
if I knew he was going away.
If you're emotionally attached to your child.
That's true.
Unless she was trying to already kind of detach herself
and
knowing she wasn't going to,
and we know that happens too. But I'm
not saying I actually think he went willingly. I would say probably not. I'm just saying,
is it possible?
Is that a possibility?
Right.
I think you could create a theory where you could have a situation where he left willingly in the moment.
I think that would be the easiest way.
Yeah. I think you can make a promise of some kind. You're going on a vacation. We're going to get you a private tutor.
You're going to go live by the ocean.
Yeah, you're going to go to the ocean. You're going to go to whatever. We'll you're going to get out of this house with the belt whippings. Whatever it is, whatever makes him tick.
Right.
you could come up with.
You're going to
I
get to
think.
play all the video games you want.
Yeah.
That
You
kind of,
know,
yeah, I get you.
Uh,
I did want to address
I don't
Crochet real quick. That's what I was wondering. With the neighbor's camera, saw Seb take out the trash. Right. It's our understanding from people we've talked to that you can't see. You can. It's a lot of static, and it's very
Can't tell.
difficult to see what's going on.
hindsight, they play a neighbor call into Sweetie Pilo's show in the early months of the disappearance saying that you don't see him take out the trash, right? On their video.
You can, yeah.
And Seth said in the moment he couldn't tell.
Yeah, we've been told.
So really, Katie's claiming that the FBI told her you can tell. And it is just, it's the distinctive run. But again, anything that comes from them, is,
right.
it's, you got to consider the source. There've been a lot,
Locked
think
and
of
Loaded
how-
says, I have to disagree with that. FBI has technology to decipher between Katie and Sebastian. I would think they would.
But in
did
the
Katie
dark,
tell us the truth.
yeah,
Right.
Did Katie tell us the truth about what the FBI found?
right.
That's the kind of stuff they lie about and are deceptive about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think of how they made Sebastian seem like a very a much more low functioning.
Oh, right. Could he ride a bus?
They deliberately did that.
He didn't understand the concept of money.
Well, he'll answer his name. Yeah, of course he'll answer his name
Right.
because he's a very, very high functioning kid.
Right.
They acted like, well, yes, he does respond to his name. Yeah, the riding the bus,
The money thing.
he's not.
What teenager does have concept of money? Let's be real.
They really played hard into that. So there's a lot of things like that they've done. Well, thank you, Sassy T. We appreciate you, and we'll stay with this case as long as this goes.
And thank you for the super chat. That really does help us.
For us, we just have to have. I just can't come up and
We can't just talk about nothing. Right.
So when there's a newer kind of theory or something to discuss, and Yellow Coat was something we never really.
No, we didn't.
Just never even looked at or considered Yellow Coat.
Um,
What do you think? So where are we on Yellow Coat right now?
I think
is it interesting?
I think it's interesting, and we need to keep looking at it.
Yeah. Is that where you are, Auntie?
Yes, absolutely.
You know what's
Because
funny?
we really did. We were just so focused on Green Hoodie, and we do think that's still suspicious.
I still think there's something weird about that. So
there's something weird about that. But this green or this yellow jacket guy, I mean, it's odd behavior. I mean, maybe there's a lot more odd behavior people out there than we assume there is, but his behavior is pretty strange.
It's at least finding it. Hopefully, law enforcement at night, whoever has found out who he is and talked to him. It's at least worth looking at.
Well, okay, let's do this. Put a 1 in chat if you guys feel the same way. If you think it's still interesting and that we need to keep looking at it.
Well, we could do a poll on. And there's also Pink Shirt.
We haven't even gotten into Pink Shirt.
We haven't even gotten to Pink Shirt.
Yeah, I didn't.
We didn't work on Pink Shirt.
We didn't really work on Pink Shirts. It's like we're gonna get every color of the rainbow.
It's like beyond, Clue, right?
I know.
Clue had isn't that the one that has all the colors, Miss Scarlet, and
And the thing with Pink Shirt was in that it's just a brief moment, but it looks like there's a little moment of recognition between Yellow Coat and Pink Shirt, and she might be
okay. I haven't even gone there yet.
Yeah, so if we do,
we'll have to do that another time.
Yeah, we'll have to do it another time. I haven't even gotten the Green Hoodie, and this is the video we've held on to for like half a year.
I know.
Everybody's put a 1.
Okay, Mima says, thank you for keeping this going. And she has been a member for 2 months. Well, thank you, Mima. We appreciate you so much. I'm way behind.
Everybody says keep it going on the yellow. We got all 1s.
All right. Well, Mama Rissa and BMW in hindsight. It looks like at least our group here thinks that your theory holds some water. So we need to keep looking at it, right?
I'll be honest with you too. Before we started this live, I was kind of leaning toward Yellow Jacket not being relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But the more as we started talking it out,
right. That's the great thing.
It started to click with me a little more that it's at least worth. I I think it's the money. I think it's that truck and the jacket and the
That
phone.
to me, that's key.
It's just strange to me.
That's a
I
great
want
question, April.
I want
Not,
to know more
my
about it.
only other thing, first of all, I think they verified he did not have food or he never left with food.
Right.
If,
I don't think he did.
If he was somebody staying at a local hotel or somebody that lived local, he could have been picking up an order for his family. But that would be the only other reason if he wasn't an Uber driver or you know, an Instacart or what, you know, DoorDash driver. If he wasn't one of those things and he wasn't getting it, he could have been getting food for his family or for himself for dinner. But
He did.
never.
I mean, he really did talk to the people a lot.
He did.
You know,
But, you know, we don't know. He never left with food. From what they said, he never left with food.
Not that we can see.
Yeah, unless
there's more
unless
video.
one of those people brought it out to him, he left without food.
So, I mean, I think that in itself makes the whole situation weird because he spends a lot of time there. He goes in, he goes to the bathroom, he comes back out, he hangs around for a minute or two. It wasn't really even cold outside, so he didn't stay inside for that 2 minutes to stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
He has on a mask. People weren't wearing masks at that time unless he's ill, sick. You know,
It is
trying to,
odd to
it's just
stay
weird.
in that area as busy as that restaurant was. Because we were in it yesterday and it was busy. It was busier that night.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
The night.
Sunday nights are busy nights usually.
Yeah. We went on Monday night and you would have thought it was Saturday night. That's how busy it was. Like we had to park really far away and the whole thing.
And then we went early too.
Yeah, it was like 6 o'clock or something when we went. So I'm not going to read all of this, but this is the update. So we're going to kind of go to the Green Hoodie part of that. So I guess the question is Yellow Coat of interest? Is Green Hoodie still of interest? And are they both still of interest?
Well, there'll be people who will argue with us that Green Hoodie's not of interest anymore.
Well, yeah, I know they are. So I want to read what Sumner County said about Green Hoodie.
And this was their last statement that they've made about the case.
And before you do that, could I say thank you to Panda Bear's mom for becoming a new member? Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Welcome to our dog train. I'm going to come up with a title. I don't. Puppy bus. I
thought it was welcome to the dog pound.
It is to the dog pound, but I don't know. It's like tonight's been just like an extra nice night of everybody gifting and joining. And so I'm trying to come up with something fun. So, well, woo, welcome.
All right. So I'm going to read this part. This, it's just kind of your typical statement, but the second paragraph is, today, detectives interviewed the person in question regarding their presence on the night of February 25th, 2024. We can confirm that after a thorough discussion with this individual, there is no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance.
Mm-hmm. And what's the date on this?
So this was done.
I believe this was around December.
It's like mid-December, the 16th or something like that.
Because it was the last statement made by Sumner County in his case whatsoever.
Oh, actually, I think I have the News 4 article. I forgot. They published it on December 13th.
Okay.
And they said, police said they have interviewed the individual on Friday about the night of February 25th. So that would be December 13th. The Friday before that, we looked this up, would have been what date?
Well, but this says today.
Okay. So
this statement would have happened
that Friday.
The 13th, right?
Was it Friday the 13th? No.
Where did you get this? Is this from Hindsight?
Oh, I see. No, I just pulled it up online.
You should be able to see the date.
It's not an article. I just have the statement.
It is Friday the 13th. If it's on Friday. What day was that? What day was your article?
I've got this from
No, I mean
my article is published December 13th.
Okay, and it was
2024.
And it said what day was it?
They said that police said they interviewed the individual on Friday about the night of February 25th.
Well, that is a Friday. It was December the 13th was a Friday the 13th. So unless it was the previous Friday on the 6th, it would have been that day.
Right, because there was some speculation that there was a a person related to CP that passed away that was the Green Hoodie. There was some
Right.
speculation there. Well, that person passed away in November. So that cannot be the same person.
Right.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of clear that up. That's something that's kind of been out
But
there.
there was several people that said that it was his relative.
But what I want to get at here is in this
Right,
paragraph.
Sassy. Exactly.
If we're going with if we're going through the lens that Craddock generally wants to tell the truth, but be careful with how he's speaking. If you look at the language, we could confirm that after a thorough discussion with this individual, there is no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean there's not suspicion. Doesn't mean that there's not other factors, but maybe they do not have evidence or anything of it, at this time, linking him to Sebastian, disappearance, or something else. I mean, they've played semantics, or maybe the Green Hoodie is nothing. Maybe they have cleared this. But this doesn't say cleared, does it?
No. It
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't say
This
cleared.
just says there's no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance. That doesn't mean that after this interview, they didn't have some suspicions and they're checking this person out.
Mm-hmm. Well,
They-
do you want to
they-
show
they
them
had a
our video
thorough-
so
they
they
had-
can see why we
This
think
just
this?
means they had a thorough discussion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the Green Hoodie thing has bothered me for a while.
It still bothers me.
Because it bothers me because they didn't talk to this person according to them until they didn't even know who this was
Right.
at all.
Until December.
They claimed they had no idea in December that because Green Hoodie, other than Katie, would be the last known person to have seen Sebastian at all and talk to the mother in the parking lot. And they're like, that's not an important person to talk to. That is.
How could anybody watch this video and not talk to this person?
It's if that's true, if their story is true, they're incompetent.
And then there's other stuff, we talk about this every time we do this. Every time we start talking about Green Hoodie, there's so many other things that don't make sense about it.
So,
do you want to show the Green Hoodie
I'm
stuff?
trying to think of where we want to go next. Do we want to do
Do you want to show the
Green
dog
Hoodie?
stuff?
Do I want to do Green Hoodie walking in?
You could do the dog stuff because
let's do that.
I have to use the restroom again. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'll be back.
So
and I also have to get our son prepared for bed.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show.
So I'll be back.
I'm going to show Green Hoodie walking in, and in this first part, look at where Green Hoodie originally is thinking about walking. She's originally looking like she's going to walk toward this like handicap zone here where you've got room for wheelchairs, right? But then she changes her direction and goes back to walk in between the two cars. Like she's walking straight toward that white car. Then she turns and goes back so she can wedge herself in between these cars where she is at the 1822 mark, 1822.50.
And then she just hangs out between the two cars.
Yeah. So 622 is 10 seconds before 623, right? So she's just hanging over there doing whatever she's doing.
For quite a while.
Right. So 30 seconds have gone by, 35 seconds. What's she doing over there? I don't, if you're law enforcement and you see this and you either missed it.
You can kind of see the movement too. You can see her body swaying back and forth.
Yep.
Just right at the windshield line. But now then it just stops. Now it goes away again. There you can barely see her come into frame again.
So here comes Yellow Coat, who had been waiting in that section for 1:44 seconds with Katie and Sebastian, just all coincidentally. And of course, everybody's seen this. Sebastian's not quite sure where to go. He's looking at that person, of course, standing in between, and that green hoodie person waves Katie back. This is such a tight spot between those cars.
I mean, she's almost kind of rocking back and forth too.
To me, I think she's waving Katie back, like, come back here with me. And I'll tell you, if I'm a mom walking to my car, I'm not walking it. I'm letting her come out first, right? Why am I
Right.
walking into this wedge space other than unless I'm wanting to talk to her?
Well, and he's watching the whole time.
Yeah. She should have been like, oh, no, you go first. Come on out. Instead, Katie makes the choice to wedge that lady in there where they have to squeeze by each other if they're strangers. What sense does that make?
Weird.
That
It
makes
is
no sense.
weird. Right.
And she had already been there at this point for 1 minute and 17 seconds.
That's weird. I mean, why would you be standing there for that long?
Right. It doesn't, there's not a, I mean, Katie could come out anytime and explain this, I suppose. And then that person, yeah, so now they're getting in. And then you see that, can y'all see my mouse?
Yes.
Where people have thought that might be a face, I think that's the side view mirror.
Yeah, I think it is too.
And so I think that's where the confusion came in. See, it's closing back. I think that's what happened there. So now Green Hoodie goes inside the restaurant and is there for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to skip ahead to when Green Hoodie comes back out. She's in there about 5 minutes or so. And she does go to the restroom.
I don't know about Yellow Coat though. I mean, he is talking to the worker. I mean, he's really engaged in what's going on.
Oh, well, you can see that Yellow Coat never left with food, right?
Right. It's like something was wrong with his food. It wasn't done yet. I don't know. It was kind of odd. You can see him talking to him. And that guy didn't have any food.
Okay, so here comes Green Hoodie. So I'm going to pause here a second. Yeah, so we can go back to Yellow Coat if we want here in a second. I just wanted to get this Green Hoodie thing. So when Green Hoodie comes out, you see this little place here. That's a walkway.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Between
Green
those
Hoodie,
two cars.
yeah, there's space.
Mm-hmm.
So Green Hoodie made the choice to walk into this tiny little space here the first time, avoiding these two giant spaces. But when she left, she made the logical choice to walk through the big gap, right?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So here she goes, walking through the logical space.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to like brush up against cars. And she continues on, goes back the way she came, and hangs a right. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got that. That does not make any sense.
Mm-mm.
So I just want to. So Yellow Coat never comes back. So I'm going to just show the last time we see Yellow Coat, so we can confirm that he did not leave with food.
I think though the guy that he was talking to has food going back out.
Yeah, but the down that sidewalk where Yellow Coat walks, that's where all the to-go parking is. So people can be sitting in their cars waiting for food. So we don't know.
It could have gone to him, but it could have gone to someone else.
Right. He talks to this kid a lot, but So anyway, here goes guy empty-handed, and what he's holding there is actually another mask, if you can't tell.
Oh, okay, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and there he is checking the phone again, actually.
Yeah, he is.
So that's when he leaves, and he went empty-handed. The DoorDash guy was at this restaurant for how long?
A while.
A long time, and left empty-handed. And so we don't know what happened after this video. He never comes back that we see. So I think, am I off the screen now? Are we back here? Okay.
We're on the big screen now.
I couldn't see anything going on in the chat,
Sorry.
so I don't know if there was.
My allergies are driving me crazy today.
Welcome in, Marlena. Good to see you. Yeah, it is. So that it was a mask. Because
You're right. El
we were able
Kennedy
to zoom
said
in on that.
Texas Roadhouse is not the kind of place you just go in and use the restroom, because you have to go all the way through the restaurant to get to the bathroom. And both people, Green Hoodie and Yellow Coat, both go to the bathroom and aren't patrons at the store.
Right.
Well, that's one of my problems is you'll see
So I think we're ready for our video.
for our
actually.
next
Yeah.
video.
So we did the whole thing. We showed the path Green Hoodie took and everything. And it doesn't make sense.
Okay, hold on.
And I think the video will show even more why this doesn't make sense. So this is us just panning the restaurant. Where that white truck is where Katie's car would have been.
Right.
And then back here.
Somebody says, though, if you fast forward to the very end, he does leave with food.
Do you want to go back? I never see him with food. Do you want me to stop?
I'm just looking.
No, we don't have to yet.
Okay, this is the logical path.
He doesn't leave with food.
Okay, do you want me
I
to
just
go?
went to the very end. He never comes
Okay,
back.
hold on a second. Do you want me to go back? So you can
Mama
narrate?
Rissa says the same thing. He does not leave with food.
Okay.
No.
So there's panning around the parking
Not
lot.
in that video, unless there's some other video.
Okay.
That's the last time we see him on that video. Unless at night or somebody dropped a different version or something I'm not looking at, but this is, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so okay, so we're walking in
The logical path.
what I think would have been the logical path to enter that Green Hoodie just avoided. The crosswalk, straight to the sidewalk.
Straight to the door.
Then you make a right and you go to the door. Would have made a whole lot more sense. Is this the one where the path that she chose instead? Okay.
How far across? It looked more like she was kind of across from.
Well, wait. Just keep watching.
The back of Katie's car, though. It looked like she was closer to that area.
We do all the paths. So
she actually goes further. She walks past the door to come back. She takes the long way if her point is to enter the restaurant. But you'll see.
Okay, so this is the path that was taken, correct?
I think that's what this one's about to be. Yeah, so I'm showing how she skips the whole big gap there.
Right.
Instead, she chooses to walk past a car that was parked here. So she walks past the front door so that she can take this terrible angle.
Yeah, so she can purposefully go right there between the cars where there's not even a space.
Right.
I mean, there's no room there.
It doesn't make sense.
Why are you skipping the front door if you're here to go to the bathroom? And why are you standing in this space for over a minute?
And I mean, she was there for a good over a minute standing.
I mean,
that's weird.
It makes no sense.
She walks past the front door so she can double back to go wedge herself in between these two cars. There is no
logical
There's
reason.
no logic to that at all. Unless there's something she needed there.
Tennessee nurse said that Vanderbilt Clinic should have a camera outside. Don't ask me how I know.
I would hope that law enforcement has those, but they didn't even check Green Hoodie. So if you believe them, until December of 2024.
Mama Rissa says almost 2 minutes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is where Green Hoodie.
We're just going to go in this really tight space as opposed to that wide area that's wide open.
So just trying to give some perspective of what's there.
Yep. There's the to-go window and the door. And there's the front door.
I mean, it's like she went in an awkward way.
And this was.
I think we're showing how she left.
Yes. This is the view of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she chose to leave through the logical way.
Right.
Through the wide area.
Right.
And then she went right over and then took a right.
Correct.
Yes. And when Tennessee nurse is talking about Vanderbilt, that's the building in front of us.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those.
Okay. And so this is that back area behind those bushes.
Yeah. So this is
where Vanderbilt is.
If you watch Mob Crew, where they kind of honed in on that car driving through and it looked like Green Hoodie running back here, this is the area.
Right.
And I'll say people did park back there because it was so busy.
Yes.
So that they're
And this is
yeah.
going around the building, and this is the part that gets me.
So this is the Vanderbilt part, but the other side. So if you went on the other side of the building, that's where Texas Roadhouse is. And what we're trying to show is that
That would have been closed on Sunday.
why is this person over here?
right?
Like they wouldn't have been at Vanderbilt.
The only thing that would have been open at this time on a Sunday is right here in Waipai. And
Who-
it's a easy place to go in and out of the restroom.
Yeah, and
Right?
you wouldn't be on the backside really for any reason unless you were parking to go to, unless you worked there
Or you're going there.
or you were, like employees park back there.
And not only that, and I don't know if I show it in here, but to the left in another complex, not far, just a
Yeah.
hop, skip, and a jump away, is a Starbucks.
Yeah.
That has no problems with you using their restrooms.
Right.
And then about a block, maybe a block away, is a gas station.
Well, and you got to think you have to go completely through the restaurant and across the dining room to get to the restroom in Texas Roadhouse. So it's like it's not an easy thing to do, and it's probably one of the most crowded
Well,
restaurants. So
Kim-
why would you want to go somewhere like that just to go to a restroom?
Right. Kim V says you can actually enter in my pie from the rear. I did not realize that. I didn't.
Yes, I have seen that before. But if she was at NY Pie, why didn't she just go to the bathroom at NY Pie?
Right.
Right.
Why did she leave there to go to Texas Roadhouse bathroom?
It's
I mean,
strange. It's strange. So
it's
we
Oh, someone says, "What's over there behind the bushes? Are there homeless people over there?" No.
no, this is the next part we're going to show.
So
This entire go ahead.
go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm fired up. You go.
Oh, well, what Mrs. Z is saying, we're going to show that the entire property's fenced in. So there's no people cutting through just on the
coming
way to
out of the
somewhere else.
woods and
This is where we are is the opposite of that NY Pie right now. We're going to show the whole fence line. So you can see there's no people just cutting through here because they're walking somewhere else.
exactly.
Texas Roadhouse is a destination. So if you're only there if you are trying to be there,
And keep in mind,
you're
if
not
you're going
on your way somewhere else.
if you're going with the theory this is a homeless person going in to use the restroom,
She had to jump a fence.
she had to jump a fence.
Yeah.
But not only that is, there's no public transportation in this area.
No buses to get home.
Sumner County does not tolerate panhandling.
No, you very rarely see that.
It's not a I don't know, homeless friendly place, I guess.
You see it in Nashville a lot. You do not see it in Hendersonville.
You do not.
Yeah.
So look at the fencing, guys.
So we're going to show the whole fencing. So this person did not go cutting through here.
Nope.
Not without jumping. And out there, that's that busy road. And if you were walking down there, needed to go to the bathroom, you just walk over to Starbucks anyway.
And we're talking about fences that are above waist high, way above.
Mm-hmm. They're 4 foot.
And that lady, she looks like she's probably 55, 60 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's not jumping that fence.
Nope. Look.
And that's a big steep hill.
I think she looks older than that.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. And it keeps going. Just wait.
Yeah, we're going to just show the whole thing so that there's because people don't know, they can't see it. So they hear, and that's all fenced. There's no gaps in any of this. So unless she came walking from the interstate, Are we at the Texas Roadhouse part now, I think?
We already passed Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, we've already passed Texas Roadhouse. So now we're going toward like Fairfield Inn and all that.
And you can't see it here, but the fence goes all the way around.
That fence is still there.
It goes around where that tree line is.
Yeah. All the way back there, it's fenced.
All the way around. And now we're back at the Fairfield behind Texas Roadhouse.
And if she came from that direction, why wouldn't you just go to the hotel bathroom?
Right.
Yeah, because they always have one in the lobby.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Here's another
It
question.
defies all logic that there would, unless she meant to be there.
Right. And that's the end of that, but we didn't show. But if you keep going to the end of the parking lot and look straight ahead, there's Jonathan's. There's another place to go to the restroom as well.
Is that where we stopped there?
Yeah, I guess so. I thought we did further, but I thought we did video of. Did I not? Did it show it already? Where it showed the to-go parking. I thought
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. Did we see
We've
it?
recorded it before the to-go area,
Okay, let me look real quick and
but
make
I
sure
don't
I'm
think
not
we uploaded
crazy.
it to this.
I think, yeah, I guess not. Okay. I feel like I recorded it. I'm gonna look. You guys talk to chat for a minute. Oh, I'm gonna look.
Rosebud said there was a car waiting for her. You see a flash of light and she walks that direction. Then a person walks the same direction she went.
Mhm.
Yeah, you do see that in the video.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like a place homeless would be at all. No, it's not. And that would not be where you would pick to go to the restroom. It just wouldn't. It's one of the busiest places you'll find at that, at dinner time. And you have, like I said, you have to go in, walk completely through the entire store to get to the bathroom. It just doesn't make sense at all.
No, I can't. I mean, I shop over there all the time. I don't know if I've ever seen a homeless person over there.
You haven't.
Not one
And
time.
I don't think
I go to that
I
Sam's
don't
once
think
a
she
week.
looks homeless either. I mean, she's
Well,
not.
that's a theory that's out there.
Oh, I know. It was a theory, but I don't think she looks homeless. Does she look sketchy? Yes. But does she look homeless? No.
Yeah, I mean, I've done this too. You go into a hotel just to use the restroom, but the thing is there. Why is she over here? There's no reason.
I'm gonna pull this down so we can see.
It's not an area.
It's so out of the way, and I hope that's what we're hoping the video can kind of like illustrate. I don't know.
It's not an area somebody would have dropped her off like to go to a store like a Walmart or something either. It's not. Yeah. You have like you said, it's a destination to get over there.
Yeah, it's kind of it's not a. There would have been a million places that you would pull. I mean, you've got a Culver's across the street. You've got you've got
And just Nicole says, and if you had to use the bathroom, why in the world would you hang out between two cars for over 2 minutes?
Right.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense, guys.
Something happened in between. And
it makes you wonder: has Ellie even considered any of this, or did they just write it off?
I think they were being careful with their language. I think they know Green Hoodie is something. And I know that there are people that will disagree with that too.
That's fine.
I know that there's people I respect that disagree with that will argue this up and down, that Green Hoodie is irrelevant.
I don't think so. It's bothered me the whole time.
But I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. That does not make sense for that woman to stand there and for Katie to approach her in such a way and talk to her for like 8 seconds.
And for the person to wave as they're leaving.
Yeah.
That's weird, guys.
And wave her in.
That's weird.
Hey, come in here between these two cars so I can shank you. You don't know this person.
No, I meant at the end where Green Hoodie waves.
Yeah. Okay. Waves kind of like, hey, good to see
Yeah, like
see you later. Yeah, I know.
Can you put up an email? Thought Criminal says, Aunt E, is there an email I can send a screen grab of a guy from the video that hasn't been mentioned yet?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you put that up?
I'm doing it.
So Thought Criminal, she's putting up our email now where you can send it.
And hi, all I need is Jesus, coffee, and true crime. Mr. E, Sebastian put something in his pocket when they first sit down. What if Sebastian trip to RR was to leave something for someone else that goes to RR later? Oh, to the restroom.
Oh, right. So
who knows?
Well, I mean, if you're wanting to get out of the way of cameras, the bathroom is the place to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Starflower. If Ellie found her and talked to her, it's unlikely she's homeless. That's right. She is not dressed like you would dress. I mean, I'm not saying that people dress up to go to Texas Roadhouse, but those
a little.
Well, I'm just saying
they didn't look like bums in there.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at is the oversized sweatshirt, oversized pants. This person does not look like somebody I would typically see there. Hair's kind of crazy.
Bentley said, I'm wondering if she handed the phone to Green Hoodie that she used in the restaurant, which is why Katie couldn't give Ellie or show Seth the photo from inside Texas Roadhouse.
Oh,
that's really good, Bentley.
Wow.
That would be why we wouldn't see the picture, because she doesn't have it.
And why wouldn't you use that picture as the picture? Because it's probably the last one that was taken of him.
It
I
still
mean,
hasn't,
Right.
still
And
hasn't
still
produced
haven't
it.
produced it.
no.
And if we recall, Seth was when Seth came to the house, she showed him the optimism photo.
So if Katie wants to put this to rest,
Right. Release those pictures.
well, she could have that picture sent to her.
Yeah,
I thought she said that she sent the picture to Chris because he was eating salad dressing and he never does that. So wouldn't Chris have the photo?
Yes.
So
Chris
the
would have it on
photo
his
should
phone.
be out there.
Yeah, so they should have the photo for sure.
yeah, Lisa, there are people that speculate that too. Yeah. There are people that have speculated that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know who the person is. I just think I find the actions odd, and I'm not ready to dismiss Green Hoodie. So, nor am I ready to dismiss Yellow Raincoat. And apparently we've got to go look at Pink Sweater.
Also, Thought Criminal is going to send you the email and it's going to be from AITCH.
Okay.
I mean, I've always gone under the assumption or belief that Sebastian was carried out or led out of the house.
Well,
through
because
the
of the shoes.
flashlights.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably if we've polled the audience in the past, like a long time ago, and we were generally kind of like 2/3 of the audience basically thought he was home that night, and about a third would say they think he never made it home. That's kind of how the polls would usually go when we do that. If he never made it home, there are some things that start to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Things that Chris has said.
Mm-hmm.
Things that law enforcement has said, that there's no evidence that he ever left the home. There may not be any evidence that he ever was home.
Right.
It would explain why forensics are almost irrelevant
Mm-hmm.
in the house if he never made it home. If law enforcement knows he never made it home, then why would they do a big, huge forensic test of the house? Right?
I mean, yeah.
True.
Because nothing would have happened in the house if he never made it home.
Okay. Thought Criminal, I got the picture, and I'm sorry, who do you think this is?
Another person at Texas Roadhouse that hasn't been mentioned yet.
Okay. Do we have the minute mark where this person is?
Mama Rosa says, we feel like the clothes and shoes were given at
Right.
the 3 a.m. lights.
Yeah, we listened. All three of us listened to your all's theories pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not,
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it would be difficult to see if he was handed off to someone with the shoes, if those shoes that he had on were accounted for at the home. Right near the beginning, I don't know the timestamp.
I think the thinking is that
I'll look into it. I don't really want to show that just yet, but we can definitely look at it for sure.
if he left in those shoes and that shirt and those pants, if those clothes weren't in the house, let's say you're like whatever your way. There's a lot of ways, a lot of theories you come up with what happened to him not coming home.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have those clothes in the house ultimately, because if he never made it home in those clothes, he obviously would change into his bedtime clothing. He's not wearing blue jeans to bed. He right? Those clothes had to make it back home.
No, I'm thinking. Sorry.
I'm just thinking. Does that make sense? Those clothes had to make it back home.
Mm-hmm.
If he's leaving in the middle of the night, he's either leaving in whatever pajamas or whatever he slept in, or probably new clothes. Would he put the same clothes back on to leave?
There's so many different options. I think that's why it's so perplexing, right?
I don't know.
So why do you need those? Actually, why do you need those clothes back home? Do you have to have those clothes back in the house?
I mean, no, because you could say that's what he had on when he disappeared. I mean, you
Or-
don't. I mean, how would you account for every pair of clothes, every every pair of pants? How would you account for everything anyway? And
Well,
with having another parent who had some of that child's clothes at their house, I mean, it would be hard to account for. And dispatch did say he had black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, but that's not what he had on at Texas Roadhouse.
I actually asked Seth this the last time I talked to him, Tennessee nurse, and he said he sleeps in pajama pants and no shirt. That's what Seth said. Maybe that's different at the Proudfoot home. I don't know, but that's what Seth said. Is that he sleeps in pajama pants and no shirt typically.
Detroit City. Did you see what Detroit City said? Pink sweater girl and yellow coat are communicating on their Apple Watches. That's what I thought. KP handed yellow coat the phone between the doors with pictures of Sebastian as they were leaving, in my opinion.
Oh, well, see, now we got to go. Now we've got to go look into pink sweater.
Pink sweater girl.
Pink sweater. I when you see it, I mean, it looks like they kind of look at each other, and she's saying something. But I mean, that's harder. To me, that's more of it's possible. But why is she necessary for the operation at all?
Don't know.
Bentley said he thought Katie changed her statement and said he had changed clothes when he got home. And I thought that she said he changed when he got home as well.
Sorry, we're thinking.
I know. I'm thinking through it. I do that. I just kind of zone out when I'm thinking.
Because really, we've we're kind of looking at a theory we hadn't really put a lot of consideration into. So it makes you rethink everything. Girl Mom says, but why was he in a hoodie taking trash out? Wouldn't he have waited till after a shower to change?
Right. And it was still warm.
And it was almost immediately after they supposedly got home.
Right.
And it was.
And he had on a short sleeves t-shirt.
So you'd have to think he was so cold. He was fine all day in that short sleeve, but on that unusually warm February night. I mean, it wasn't that time of night. It definitely was not cold.
Yeah, he went in though and put on a sweatshirt so he could take out the trash. What kid's going to do that? You can't hardly ever get a kid to put a coat on, period. So they're going to run out, take the trash out, and come right back in.
Not my kids.
What? Put a coat on?
I can't get them to wear a coat to school.
I know.
In the winter. Yeah.
I've been there and said, hey, put your coat on. And they're like, no.
Mom Marissa says, now you guys know what we've been discussing since December.
Yeah.
See, this is what we do. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if everybody in here knows this, but we go on a beach vacation. Our whole family goes once a year together. And the last 2 summers on our vacation, this is all we discuss.
Well, Mama Riss, let me ask you this about your theory, though. This is one of the parts that I have a harder time make sense with the flashlights. So why did they meet with the flashlights in the middle of the yard?
Right.
If they're bringing back clothes, why doesn't flashlights just come to the house and then leave the house?
Right.
Why does somebody leave the house with a flashlight to meet another person with a flashlight to exchange clothes and then split? There's more exposure.
I know what you're saying, but I can see that being a logical choice.
Hey, well,
I'll meet you halfway. I could see that.
Okay.
Well, and their speculation too is that the bag definitely was not big enough to hold his Sebastian. They didn't think it was big enough to hold him, that he would be in that.
Right.
Or whatever the black thing was over someone's shoulder.
Real Me Too says, why wear a hoodie just to walk out to bring the trash out? Exactly.
When it takes like 2 minutes. Yeah.
And Tina says there's never a mention of him taking a shower.
What would be interesting, although we can't know this, is in what order did this happen with law enforcement?
Right.
Did Katie see the video they have of the trash first? And then she said, oh, that was Sebastian taking out the trash. Or did she say Sebastian took out the trash before she ever saw video? What order did that happen?
Well, we may never know that.
We may not ever know that, but that would be interesting to know.
TN,
That's interesting to law enforcement, probably.
Tennessee nurse has a good point. Katie put out there that he had that he was having bad body odor. I told you guys I am not going to read anymore tonight. Please read for me.
Katie put out there that he was having bad body odor. Did he not have a shower after that big day?
It's never mentioned in any of her stories, but you think he went all those places and he was going to school on a Monday. Would he not shower before bedtime?
I would like that. The only thing they hammer home is that he took out the trash. They don't. She says he's playing what? We don't know. Oh, okay. So you think that he's bringing like supplies, something he needed. So Mama Marissa says we think they are carrying out things that belong to him.
Bentley said flashlight video shows 2 going to the house, but only 1 leaving. That would be 2 entering the house and 1 leaving the house. I thought it was. I don't think that's correct. Shows 2 going to the house, but only 1 leaving. I thought it was 2 going out to the car and only 1 goes back to the house.
That's the way I understood it. It's been so long since I've looked at it.
I know. You're going to have to rewatch it.
What?
Okay, so Detroit Rock City really wants us to look at this. Somebody else read it because I'm tongue-tied tonight.
Detroit Rock City says, yes, she puts her hand to her face, and so does he at the same moment. You need to go over that part again. Pink sweater is at the bar and walks out. It all happens around the same time.
Oh.
I hope I didn't.
Wow.
I'll get back to it. I'll find it. It's near the beginning of this, I think. We're talking about pink sweaters, right? That's what we want to see.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to remove all of our stuff.
Yeah, the story of the day gets really short when they get home, and there's lots of details that are left out. They've got all kinds of details about what all they did, what they went, where they went, what they ate. But then when they get home, the story gets very vague.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When is pink sweater?
2 flashlights leave, 1 goes back. That's the way we understand. Okay.
When does pink sweater happen?
It says pink sweater's at the bar.
I'm sure 3 people in this chat
at the
know.
bar.
Hindsight's got them all.
Gotcha, Bentley. That's what I thought too. Thank you. 2 leave, 1 comes back.
Is it before? I don't see her. Maybe it's on their video, on Voices of Truth's video.
And Hindsight says, Mr. E, I have all the video clips on my channel. Feel free to take them.
I know I saw her tonight somewhere on one of your. Oh,
yes,
here.
it was on there. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I've got her. But thank you, Heinz. I appreciate your sharing everything with everybody. Okay, so I think this is where we see her.
Twitter's at the bar.
At the right spot?
Can't see it.
It's hard for me to see. Oh, Hindsight says not that one.
Oh, okay, I thought I saw her out here somewhere. Okay, sorry.
Hindsight is not that one. Hindsight,
There she is.
Here's Pink Lady. I just went ahead too far.
Can I say something real quick to hindsight for
Yeah.
can you pause it? Hindsight. Part of the reason I gave you a wrench is so you could put up any links you need to put up. So if you want to put that, if you have it handy and it will help, you could put it in there if you want. If not, no big deal.
Here she is walking out.
Okay.
She's walking out here, and then this is where they have their exchange. And you kind of want to watch his reaction in her hand. See, that's what they're talking about there. She puts that hand up there. Maybe she's talking into a watch.
Ooh.
And then he responds. He kind of looks back at her. And she looks back at him there.
Could she just be a germaphobe?
I don't know.
She's like, he's got a mask on. I better cover
That
my
is
mouth."
kind of weird.
But
That is strange.
I'm going to just... Let's slow it down a hair. Okay, now watch them kind of...
No, right there.
Yes.
Oh,
They do it at the same
Actually,
time.
She like completely spins around to look at him, right?
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was Green Hoodie there at this time?
So does she leave with food?
Okay, Mama Rissa says pink shirt arrives 4 minutes before Katie gets to Texas Roadhouse.
Then she leaves as
Did
Yellow Coat arrives.
And she was at the bar the whole time?
Green Hoodie arrives as Yellow Coat is in the bathroom. Timing is everything in Texas Roadhouse.
Hmm.
Wow.
So she was there 4 minutes before Katie gets there and had been at the bar. And now she's outside.
Okay. I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at this more.
I mean, of course, she could leave with... I've ordered food to leave.
Oh.
To not draw suspicion, I suppose. Okay.
Bentley says this is also the group of people that stopped to look at Katie when approaching Green Hoodie.
Yeah.
See, I love having you guys here because I don't see this stuff. Sometimes I catch things, but not, I mean, it's, you know,
Okay, so that's interesting.
working together, you know, is everything. Oh,
That's
hindsight
weird.
dropped the link. Okay, here we go.
That is weird because it's the way she spins around.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks twice actually into that hand.
Like Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Why can't I get it?
Huh.
I can't grab the link. Oh, I know where to do it. Never mind.
You're in probably in stream.
I'm in
mode.
the wrong one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
And of course there were these stories when the Texas Roadhouse video first came out. There were the stories that Katie freaked out about it.
Oh yeah, we heard that.
We heard that that's what happened.
Yeah, we did
So
hear that.
that makes you think there was something in this video she was worried about people noticing.
Mm-hmm. That, yeah. Crochet says that interaction's wild. Okay, I do have the video. Would you like me to put up the one she's talking about?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let me make sure I've got it.
Man, this is interesting.
All right, hold on.
So hindsight says this is also the two other men that come in for under a minute and approach the bar for her. Okay, so we'll have to go back and.
Okay, I think this is the
See
right
what
one.
she
If this is the
does.
right one, is this the right one? I think that's the right one. I hope so.
Do the big screen.
Okay.
Okay, it says allegedly a dark blue SUV drives slowly past TRH. It was 6:11:06. This is like 30 minutes before Katie leaves. The SUV pulled into the adjacent parking lot and it then parked. Two men got out and go through the bushes. They enter TRH.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen this.
Oh, that's weird. And tell them. Can I pause it
Those
right here?
bushes are hard to walk through.
Tell them.
Because when I first went there back, because the videos we did earlier, some of those are um, some of those are some of those videos are from the winter, you know,
Mhm.
and we at that time I thought Green Hoodie had walked through the bushes. So I did the reenactment, like if I were going to walk back through. I didn't realize that she kind of took a right and went down the sidewalk. So I tried to walk it and actually walked through the bushes myself, and it was almost impossible to get through.
Right.
They were so thick. So for those guys to choose to go trailblazing through that, you know, it's kind of it's kind of weird. I mean, maybe they just didn't want to walk around, but it's certainly not comfortable walking through those bushes like that.
I was looking for that video to see. Do you want to keep playing this?
Sure. On Dreaming of Blue Skies, send us a super sticker. Thank you so much, Dreaming.
Aw, thank you. Well, let me look at it because you know that's like my favorite thing. Oh, it's a cup of coffee. You know I need coffee. Let's see. I was trying to find that video where you went through the bushes, but I can't find it. So, do you want me to keep playing this?
Somebody said, "Can you replay that,
Yeah.
Mr. E?"
Sure.
Yeah. Let's do that again.
Start over.
'Cause I hadn't seen this. So this is. Oh, that is weird. It's the guy in the cap and the guy in the blue to those.
And the fact that they just stay there for a few seconds and then leave is odd.
Yeah. They decided to take the path this time. Huh. I mean,
That's crazy.
that's crazy. Anybody got an explanation why those two guys parked way over there, walked in, stood at the bar for all of about 30 seconds to a minute, and then walked right back out?
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
It was crazy. It's just there's so much to think about with it, because we kind of theorized what we thought happened, and this. I mean, in stuff we've looked at several times, we're finding new information all the time. I just wonder how much the police have investigated these things. You know, we have no idea how deeply they've gotten into these Texas Roadhouse videos.
Or have they gotten to them at all? Because they're interviewing Green Hoodie in December of 2024.
Hindsight says we later determined that Yellow Coat was not driving that vehicle and that he was behind in a silver Jeep Wagoneer.
Wow.
And it could be like Shirley said. Shirley said maybe the two guys were going to the bar and there was no room at the bar for them, so they just went ahead and left.
And I know, like, one of the thoughts would be, I mean, not obvious, but one of the thoughts you'd have would be, why do this in a fairly busy place? But you're also not ever really expecting the story to blow up in such a way.
Right.
It's very interesting.
And you got to meet somewhere.
Well, I'm just telling you, if it's a trafficking situation, there are multiple people that are involved with these things, multiple people. And that would not surprise me to be that intricately planned and handed off and all that. It wouldn't surprise me at all for it to be that elaborate.
Dreaming of Blue Sky says, could it be a human trafficking ring? They noticed how little mom was paying attention and thought easy target. So FBI is involved because they think it's linked to a bigger case they're working on.
Maybe.
I think
he
FBI
does go to the bathroom for quite a pretty good amount of time. I mean, about 5 minutes.
I think FBI is involved because they know it's something bigger.
I don't know. I'm kind of blown away. I can't believe I haven't seen that before.
I know.
That's a great video.
Well, there's so many people in that Texas Roadhouse. It's hard to notice who to, you see these crowds.
Well,
people coming and going, and unless you do take the time, like Hindsight and Mama Risa and BMW have done, to check every individual that comes and goes, it's
and we
easy
saw
to miss.
We saw 5 people in that video that came and went from the restaurant without getting any food. You had Green Hoodie, Yellow Coat, pink sweater, and the 2 guys. None of them had food.
And there's no reason to go to this place that's really out of the way.
And busy.
I mean, super busy.
Well, that's the thing about the bar. If you're going to go to a bar, would you go to the Texas Roadhouse bar? It's kind of tight. There's not, there's not a lot of space.
But you go all that way and then you leave?
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Girl mom says, are those the flashlight people? Don't know. I did have a friend I was discussing this with a friend, and my friend said, is it possible that maybe Sebastian did have more access to the internet and this was something that he set in motion and did inadvertently?
Well, we were talking about this before.
Was that you and I?
Yeah,
No, I was
we
talking to, what, was it you?
We
I
were
thought I was talking to a girlfriend of mine.
No,
Okay.
we were talking today about that as well, but you might have also been talking, you know, that he had more access. We were talking about his access, and could he have possibly had more access than we thought, and could he have made arrangements to go with somebody?
Yeah, we were talking about that. That we don't think that that's true. That his internet was on lockdown.
Is it possible Sumner County is been asked not to divulge any more information?
Well, and
we don't know.
At the time that he went missing too, there was a lot of stuff going on in that neighboring county with trafficking and with arrests and a lot of weird stuff going on. So, I mean,
well, if that theory, I would disagree with that. I would say that they would be involved too.
Okay, I was just talking through theories.
Question.
Yeah,
I mean, girl moms.
No, I know. I know. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I think.
I have to say, Rob Beatty made me,
because it solved a problem for them.
Do you remember? Rob Beatty says there are a lot of rug rings running in furniture stores around where we live. Wasn't it a comedian that was talking about the mattress stores?
It was a conspiracy theory.
Is it?
Yeah, that Mattress Firm is a front. Because nobody's ever actually in one. It's like
and do you know anybody that's actually bought a mattress from one of those stores?
Yeah, I mean they've got like great real estate everywhere, and they're empty all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it could be
a mattress from the Sleep Number store.
That's different. We're talking about the ones that are just like
there's mattress stores everywhere, and there's never anyone in them.
There are people. So it could be a coincidence,
right?
Is essentially what they were getting at.
Real Me Too says, I think Sebastian would be scared of the repercussions from Chris if he planned this and got caught. Right. I mean, this is just something we were discussing. It's just, I mean, I think it's okay to have healthy discussions.
Brandy Dandy says, I once bought from Mattress Firm.
Well, you're the only person I've ever known.
Sure you did. Sure you did.
Or do you own a Mattress Firm? Just kidding.
Thought Criminal thinks possibly that the Burger King next to her is a front. It's always empty, but it's always open.
We definitely lived in a neighborhood a long time ago that we were certain our neighbors were doing that. They'd have people there all the time
at weird hours.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this too, with the trafficking. If you find one type of trafficking, you find all three.
Right.
The weapons, the people, and the rugs.
Mm-hmm.
Those networks are basically the same. So if you find one somewhere, the other two are nearby. Because it's all kind of the same people.
Let's see. Mama Marissa says we can talk anytime. Well, guess what, Mama Marissa? You are a member of the channel, and we're going to be putting a link out to our chat tomorrow to come up on panel and talk. But you could also reach out to us. I'll put our email in chat again, and we can definitely arrange a time for you guys to talk.
The bright side to this kind of thing is that it gives you
hope,
more optimism.
I think it
what
does.
could have happened. I mean, it gives you more of it's one of the avenues where he could be out there still.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, Panda Bear's mom. Devlin Tate, 19, missing from Lake Odessa, Michigan, April 21st, 2025. Last seen at Carl's Supermarket. Has Tourette syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, and a chromosomal deletion.
It's terrible.
I'm going to write that down. I'll definitely share that.
Oh, that's awful.
Let's see. And someone had mentioned the Jonathan, the one in, I believe was it Washington? Jonathan Hoang earlier? Do you remember the boy with autism and that was
Yes.
missing from his parents' home?
Yes. That one's been a little while.
Yeah,
I
they
don't-
still have not found him.
They still have not found him. Okay. And Thoughtful Criminal said, I'm surprised they didn't find a ring during the Murdaugh thing. I'm surprised too that there wasn't more tied to that.
Did you tell her about the Murdaugh thing?
Yeah.
She may not
Did you
know.
see the thing with the Bullhorn Betty was talking about a case with Murdaugh?
No,
around the
today?
same time. Yeah. It happened around the same time as the Murdaugh, and there might be some. She was kind of indicating there might be some connection there.
Huh?
We'll have to look into it.
Was that recent?
No,
Yeah.
it happened in the same year as the
But
Murdaugh.
when she was talking about it, was that today?
Today's live.
Oh,
She did
I'll
like kind
have-
of like a.
I didn't get to.
Yeah.
I was out today, so I didn't get to listen. So I'll have to listen.
Well,
Also-
we're talking about Sebastian tonight. With Jack and Lily, I'm not sure that there are any updates at this time, right?
don't
Not that I'm aware of. No, but
We've been prepping for this show today.
these
so,
two cases are seeming more and more similar, aren't they?
yeah.
Because what it looks like with the two kids in Nova Scotia with Jack and Lily, it's looking like that may have been Malaya trying to get her kids out of that
Well,
house.
That's what some people are
that's a
saying.
theory. Yeah, it's a
that
theory.
looks like a
If you believe
if you believe some of these family
Durwood, I couldn't think of
Durwood.
his name.
And I think
He came out with his real name now.
yeah.
Oh,
So
Agent 99 had something. She said within what's known as the secure transport industry, it's called gooning. Brawny men show up under the cover of darkness and force a teenager into a vehicle, taking them against their will.
I have heard that before. Like if you're taking them to like a one of those behavioral camp kind of things, right?
Dogs would have barked.
But if the problem is if it were like that, to a boarding school, foster home, or treatment center. The problem with that is why didn't they just tell the police where he was? So, oh no, he's not missing.
Well, you wouldn't report
sent
him missing. You wouldn't report him missing. You would just say, oh wait, he's been taken to a school. You would call the dad. You'd say, well, I know you may not like this, but he's been taken to this school. We want to see how it's going to go. I mean, it would be an easy thing to explain and not say he's missing and cause themselves legal issue by lying about a missing child.
Well, if they have, parental rights, and Seth says no,
Okay, so I've thought about this. Is something I was thinking about. This is
Okay.
similar to Jack and Lily. These cases are so similar. It's kind of they don't seem it at first, but they are, because they're both situations. The kids needed to be out of the house for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You had to get Sebastian out of the house so that Chris could come back home and be around Faith and all those things. We think
Allegedly.
Jack and Lily, she needed them out of the house allegedly because she thinks they were in an unsafe situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if that was the motivation for both situations, in both, things got out of control quickly legally
Mm-hmm.
and blew up to a point where people are facing prison sentences because of false statements made.
Right.
And the part of me, whenever I look at those theories, I start to think, well, that doesn't make sense, because why would you put yourself in legal jeopardy here and there? And, what was your end game? But I have to remember there are people that are just impulsive and stupid and make dumb decisions.
I guess that's true.
That's what criminals are. They are ultimately people that have poor judgment and do foolish, reckless things. So maybe in either of those situations, somebody was short-sighted and didn't think it out. Maybe they made a foolish decision and miscalculated, and now they're stuck.
I mean, that's always a possibility. It is always a possibility that they just something went awry and they just screwed up. But
it doesn't make sense to us. But maybe people. But neither does this woman dropping her child off in the middle of nowhere in Canada at 3 years old.
Right.
And thinking she was going to just report her child missing and everything would be okay. I mean, that was incredibly foolish too. Criminals do foolish things, or that's what makes them criminals.
Well, I mean, look at Megan Boswell. I mean, she obviously that whole situation. She didn't do.
How many times did she say various things for?
I mean, she said all
Evelyn
kinds
was
of stupid stuff, and then also, you know, she didn't do anything to cover it up. I mean, besides put the baby in a garbage bag in a can and on their own property. I mean, it wasn't anything that was smart.
Right.
And you know, it was several months before she was found.
She basically put her head in the sand, acting like, oh, nothing will ever happen.
Yeah, like she'd never get caught when it was on their own property.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that was, but she was a very young girl. These people are not that young, and you know, you would think they'd have a little more sense. Now, Malaya, she's young, and I think she's made some mistakes with relationships and things like that. But I don't think Katie and Chris are dumb.
Bentley
they have poor judgment.
Poor judgment.
They have extremely poor judgment.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, they
That's
do.
why we made the poor judgment.
You know.
Cup.
I mean, there were signs that Katie was getting into a bad situation when she married a guy that had already been divorced 4 times.
Yeah, that's poor judgment right there.
I mean, that's poor judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got CPS coming out to your house 3 to 5 times. And he, you know, there's some poor judgment.
Bentley Revito says, with all those people involved, this was planned. Too much coincidence, in Bentley's opinion.
If all of those people are actually involved, that's 5 extra people. If all 5 of those people are actually involved.
There's compelling evidence to look at this further for sure.
Yeah, obviously we don't know, but it's possible those 2 guys that came in, maybe they came in, they were like, you know what? This bartender's not even looking at us. Let's go drink somewhere else.
Let's head out through the bushes and get out of here.
Like it's too crowded. Let's just head out.
Or maybe they were looking for girls and nobody cute was at the bar.
Did you pay attention to that bar yesterday?
Yeah, it was busy.
It was busy, but it was being seated.
Yeah.
People were sitting there as to avoid the line.
Well, maybe they thought they could get a seat at the bar just walking up and couldn't.
That could be.
I mean, I can kind of come up with more. I can kind of
through the bushes. That was kind of weird. You have to admit. But you saw that there's paths all over the place.
Yeah, but the first time they go through the bushes, and maybe they went back the other way when they went back.
Oh, maybe they were trying to get to the front to get their name on the list.
I can kind of. I'm thinking they went through the bushes, realized how painful it was, learned their lesson, and walked around the line when they went back.
Because you tried to go through them and couldn't, right? Yes. Yeah, the first time.
You can get through, but you really got to push through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy. So let's take those 2 guys off the table. Or, it's still 3 extra people if
I gotcha.
Or 2, or just Green Hoodie.
There's a lot of weirdness.
There's some weird stuff.
There's more to look at there for sure.
If the 2 guys walking in, I can come up with explanations on that easier than I can the stuff with the other 3.
Well, we'll talk that through some more.
Well, it's kind of a coincidental though, with the pink sweater and the man both talking in their watch at the exact same time, and then her.
That's really weird.
That was a really odd.
The way she spun around like
yeah, that's the part that bothered me the most.
To look at him, it was really awkward. And he looked back for some reason. So Bentley Revito says, you also got to remember Chris's statement about the concrete. If it was a spur of the moment thing gone wrong, you wouldn't make that type of statement with specific measurements.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember what he said about the concrete. I remember something being said, but I don't remember exactly what it was regarding. I actually
I said this to the Real Me Too, I think yesterday, or she said it to me or texted it to me, and I replied back. My mind is fried on this stuff. I don't know what I know anymore. I don't know what I don't know. I really don't. I kind of have to.
he talked once about this concrete, about how it's ridiculous to think of putting them in concrete because you'd have to do this and that. He went through
Oh,
the
right.
details of
he
it.
had
He
all
was
this.
very specific.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what it was.
But he
Something
does
had-
think he's smart. He does think he's smarter than everybody else. That's the impression that he gives when he speaks.
Yeah. But if let's say, I mean, obviously these people we don't know. These people might all be innocent. We don't.
Right. We
Yeah.
don't know. We
It's
don't
a
know.
big-
We're just
It's
speculating
a big
here.
if.
Everything. Yeah.
If 3 people or up to 5 are all involved, then this is definitely a solvable case.
And
So
if
why
that's-
hasn't it been solved then?
I was going to say, and why hasn't somebody come forward for the reward? I mean, that's a lot of money.
Well, because they'd be involved. They'd have. I mean, they'd be a snitch on some kind of organization or ring or whatever that did this.
Look at this. Bentley says, wait till you see the worker in the yellow hoodie. Also, look back at the green hoodie and Katie as if they were shouting.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah, we've seen
Yeah.
that look when if people look over there.
It looked like was there an exchange or some laughter or shouting or something, right? Something
Well,
that made them
I
turn
thought
around.
they were looking because the green hoodie looks out of place. Because that's not something you see, like it's odd for somebody to be standing between cars for that long period of time.
They always talk, they just give it time. If they've identified them. I mean, has law enforcement studied this?
I don't know.
They didn't. If you believe them, they didn't even care to talk to Green Hoodie until December.
Right.
And that was all.
That part is scary
That
to me.
is unbelievable to me.
It is unbelievable.
That's-
And I remember that the Texas Roadhouse people, I can't remember when they actually asked for the footage, but that was out in social media land too, that they didn't come and ask for the footage
I don't know.
initially. It was out there. I don't know how much of it was true, but it was a while till they even came and requested the footage. And and I know for a fact that the waitress said it was a while before they came and interviewed her, the one that waited on the table. It wasn't right. It wasn't on the onset of what happened. It was a few months down the road.
Rock and Rhonda's been a member for 11 months. 11 months, and I think I missed the last 6 months. Well, we are so happy you are a member and have been for 11 months. We appreciate you so very much. Thank you, Rock and Rhonda.
Thank you,
And
Rhonda.
Girl Mom, he has been talking to me. I think we're going to do some Holly Bobo stuff.
I've been listening to the really good podcast on this Holly Bobo thing. It's been very interesting.
But y'all, as much as I have had fun tonight, it is getting to the hour where my mind shuts off.
Yes.
And I'm withering away little by little. You can kind of see it. My coffee's wearing off and I'm tired.
Well, I want to just say thank you to Hindsight and BMW and
Mama
Rissa for being here, and the theory that you guys have put forward. I think it's definitely worth exploring.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
a lot to think about.
I think
really.
it's interesting, and I hope law enforcement's looked into it
So
and
cute.
spent. I mean, that took. You know how many hours
Oh, I have no idea.
they must have logged going over that video, tracking each person
Mm-hmm.
and their movement. I mean, that's some serious work. So
Yeah, it's really good.
yeah,
Really
I mean that's some time. You guys have put in some hours to put all that together, but I think that it's hopefully the right people are all looking at it and have identified or are in the process of identifying those people.
It's hard to know.
And maybe
Look at me. You see my face? I'm getting tired.
you're tired. But
I wanted to hold on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
E, hold on.
So they're going to be back on June 27th at 8:00 on the Hindsight's channel. They will continue the discussion. Go back and watch the last 3 lives they've done.
They're
They've
good.
been really good.
They're really
If
good.
you haven't watched them already, and the first one in particular is where they lay out the bulk of the theory there. And thank you, Ty Baylux, for being a member also. And
all I need is a Jesus Coffee and True Crime has been a member for 3 months. Look at me with my 3-month milestone.
I
Crime
thought you've
dog.
been with us longer than 3 months, actually. But
thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then who did I miss? Oh, Ty Bay. Oh, hi, Ty Bay. Thank you so much for keeping Sebastian's name out. Well, thank you for being here. We wouldn't be here if you guys weren't watching us, right? We might be.
And also, don't forget to go to the
I posted it on the community tab.
on the community tab.
Mm-hmm. And make sure you
think
go.
people are
I'll
just-
see where it's at. See how many it's been signed now, because it had jumped up a little bit. It's at 19,912 now.
Good.
So it's
good,
jumped
good.
up a little bit. And thank you guys for doing that. Thank you for signing. And keep that signing. Let's get it to 20,000. We're what, 75, 78 away?
And get Locker. Nan says, Mrs. E, I sent you a message on Messenger.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I will check it out. All right.
This was so interesting tonight.
This was so much fun. Thank you guys
all,
so much.
And our audience had so
and you know,
much to the discussion.
Sebastian's just near and dear to our heart, and it's why we started the podcast. So, you know, anytime we can go back and revisit it, we will.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll so we could have gone on a while.
We could
talking
still
about
go
this.
Yeah,
on, but
I mean, there's a
but
lot more that we didn't even talk about.
you guys know if when it hits this time, I start getting really sleepy.
know.
You can see it in my eyes.
Well, I want more time to prepare and kind of go over the other stuff that kind of came up tonight that we hadn't really
thought about.
about. So
Look over the bar footage, pink sweater, and yellow coat again to Detroit Rock City. We will.
So so make sure you check out Hindsight on Friday. We'll be doing members live tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our weekly Crimecast on Friday.
We're gonna try.
Yeah,
We're trying to be on
a
schedule.
Much shorter version. I'll only do like 3 or 4 big stories on Friday.
So since we've got
Afternoon,
so,
we
since
won't
people
go up
are
against
still
Mama Marisa and everybody.
since people are still here, we're going to try to go Tuesdays evening for deep dives.
Yes.
Fridays during the day for our
just a weekly,
just kind of
true
weekly
crime.
summary of what's going on. And then members when we can squeeze them in.
Yeah,
with our
members only
schedule.
when we can. And this is a good week for us. So
Yes.
And
thank you,
Rita,
everybody.
I saw that you were wanting to get some money to be a member. Also, if you will just like do a lot of chatting when you're on our lives, when people are giving away memberships, that's how you often get one. So you can get one for free that way. So
And
please
don't feel like
take
you have to
that.
be a member.
You do not have to do it.
No, just giving us that thumbs up and being here and chatting with us is all we need. Thank you so much. We appreciate you too.
Do you want to do any videos before you leave? Because we had some super chat.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so I will do welcome to the Crime Dogs and super chats. Is that okay?
It's okay with me. Sure.
Well, you know me. I'm like, see. I'm like, you know, when I'm out, I'm out. I'm tired. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Okay, that's super sticker. Okay.
Thank you for the super chat. 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 Thank you for the super chat.
Well, thank you so much for the super chats and
Okay.
super stickers, everybody. And you got one more you want to do?
Well, I want to welcome everybody to the dog pound,
Well,
right?
not the dog catcher or the
The dog train, puppy train,
Puppy train.
puppy chow.
yeah.
Welcome to the dog pound. Your crime dog now, members only. Welcome to the dog pound. Your crime dog now, members only. Welcome to the pound, members only. Wow, 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 wow. Doo-doo-doo.
Awesome. You want to hear what he just said, Aunt E?
What?
He goes, is that a program putting up all those names on there?
Well, that would be me clicking them fast. I
just
still didn't get through all of them.
That was good. I thought you were like a program. Putting
Nope.
all those names up there.
I was trying to
So
get all the,
technical.
When did
I
we
was
get
trying
this
to get all the
feature?
new ones. I know. I was trying to go really fast. It was hard.
Well,
I didn't get them all.
we know that you guys can spend your night anywhere, and we appreciate you spending
much
your night with
appreciate it.
us. This has been so much fun. And thank you to Mama Marissa and to BMW Coop and Hindsight for letting us use their research and discuss it, and being so graceful and kind.
Yes, absolutely.
As well.
Yes.
And thank you to all of our people in chat, all of our subscribers, and all of our members. We appreciate you guys so much. And you make this a great thing to do. I don't know how to you make it. I don't know. You make us happy. So
Yes.
And we love our Sebastian Rogers people, because we know that without you, we wouldn't even be here today, because you helped us get started and raise awareness for Sebastian, and we still want to bring him home soon.
yes. And also thank you for the prayers for our son. As you guys know, we need them. So we appreciate that as well. And thank you for the super chats. Thank you to our mods that have come in and stayed here with us the whole night, dreaming of blue skies, Real Me Too, Jenny Machete. You know what? I'm feeling really generous. Jenny Machete is here. Let's give her something real quick.
Okay.
She also said she was going to bring a machete.
Karate,
Machete.
karate,
Machete.
karate,
Machete.
karate.
I didn't even ask.
You didn't even ask me.
Didn't even ask him.
I know. Well, I cave every time anyway.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all so much. And we hope to see you next time. And
Members, tomorrow night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
We remember you. We remember you. Ooh. We're still here for you. We'll shine a light for you. We're holding